Hey! I want Panarula, I want bamboo, don't.
Welcome to Wicked Game. Um, Hi guys, I'm Lydia, I'm your dungeon master, and here with me are my players. We have Nikki, we have Michelle, we have Tom, and we are going to be playing some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, uh, um, the campaign that is known as the Divisia Sensus today for you. But first up, let's just rattle through some very, very quick announcements. None of us are absolutely running on full power. You know, we're between the 60 and 75 to 80% power. So just go easy on us.
More like Sicked
Mods.
game.
Sicked game. Mods. They are in the form of, you'll see them in chat, Joshy Longlegs, Rooney Runes, Automatic Flash, Sweet Poison. Have I forgotten anyone? No.
That's 4.
They are incredible. Oh, we thank you. Here in Discord, everything they do amazes us. We love you. Now, Dice and a Slice. Season 2, episode 1. It's out now. If you like listening to D&D in a podcast ear-only format, you simply have to get into this shit. New player alert. Tomothy.
Hi.
They are the new players. So head on over, give that a listen. We highly recommend, even if you never listened to the collab that we did, never listened to season 1, now is a great time to start. Moving on, some other heroes. They're only fucking back after a brief break. Oh my God. Get in there on Sunday afternoon.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
After the stream today, we're going to do a little announcement about our charity week. So stick around for that. I think we've got Dragon Age tomorrow. But I believe Michelle is not doing an art stream on Friday.
No art stream on Friday.
If you turn
we're
up to
playing
that,
D&D
you're
all
an
weekend.
absolute bozo. So cool. I think that's everything. I'm just going to do a quick little previously on the Divisia Sensus. So our guys, Agatha and Hiraeth, had discovered this like tragic link between their pasts, spinning out like emotionally fragile. They launched themselves into a rescue mission of Francesca Orthonos, who had supposedly been imprisoned by her own family after she expressed an interest 25 years ago of wanting to marry somebody that was a big fat no one. And so sort of on a wing and a prayer, they launched themselves into this like rescue mission, and 3 of them were just sort of almost immediately imprisoned in a magical mirror. So it was up to Sunny and Hiraeth and their second year mentors to sort of kill everyone and save the day. They did have, backup of custers who are like,
Also, we didn't kill everyone.
Pluto did.
I mean, so safely back at school, and Francesca, being the traumatized victim, safely handed over to the sanatorium, the gang enjoyed a picnic with their new dog, Pash, that was just sort of like full of meringue and heartbreak. And I think that's pretty much it. We had like our Fae Prince got a letter from home, and we're after 3 sessions, we're finally embarking on a new day. Nikki, roll the thing. In the heart of Maridia, looking over the glittering city of Solaraire, is the world's finest centre of learning, the Divisia Sensus. For centuries, this school has hosted the rich and influential and the greatest minds to have ever lived. Geniuses, leaders, holy figures, and legendary adventurers all had their start here. Though the school is built on old foundations, you won't find more advanced facilities for the arcane, alchemical, artistic, or academic, all behind powerful wards. The Divisia Sensus has the finest and most comfortable sanatorium in the known world. We pride ourselves on the care we give to those whose encounter with magic ended with a broken mind. Each year, we instruct students from far and wide in their chosen subjects and the rigours of life at the pinnacle of their field. There is no greater, safer, or more prestigious environment in which to receive an education. Lady Sophronia Apissimos, High Master of Divisia Sensus, welcomes you.
Can't believe
Baby
you just
got
said
back.
that. Can't believe you just said that.
I said it. Ooh. Right.
I'm so glad Lydia owned whatever Tom was alluding to there, so it was not
It's called
me.
a standing. Fresh, new morning. It is day 4 of term 1 of the Divisia Sensus, and it is another blisteringly sunny morning with those brisk, plain breezes that carry so much sand with them. You have already woken to staff members bringing in crates. The announcement has already been made of the naming of your new, very emaciated, mangy, untrained bulldog, and who immediately urinated everywhere. So there the 4 of you stand, ready for a new day. Getting ready and going to breakfast, chaps?
Yeah, can I ask Pnevma if I can borrow like a shirt or something? Because mine has a rip sleeve.
Yes. Come this way.
Oh no, I'm gonna regret this. I just need it till lunchtime and I can go back and get some of my own clothes. It's fine.
Can you please just...
Oh god. What do you want me to roll? I haven't got my carriage.
It's almost a charisma saving throw for them because she is...
Do you know what?
She's going to push hard to remodel the full look.
That's fine. Agatha will just let her put her in. She'll argue a bit to be comfortable, but then...
The arguing back means that you are technically in a long sleeve top, but it's, you know, when you see sometimes on TikTok women that get a pair of tights and just cut loads of holes in it and then put the tights on.
Yeah.
It's like that. So, and she sort of scraps with you a little bit about putting the pinny on over it. So what she allows for you to do is to put on like a lace negligee over the top, so you've gone full like 90s grunge.
Michelle loves this outfit. Agatha is like, oh, okay.
You look fucking hot. It's so cool. You've just got to like, don't do this, yeah? You've got to like, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And she sort of opens the doors and goes, opens her door and goes, boys, look, Agatha. I mean, seriously.
Certainly a look.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think that top's missing more material than the shirt you're replacing is.
Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll just wear my old.
No, keep it on.
It's fine. It's like festive, you know, just like you got in a fight. But like a cool one though, like with a wolf or something.
Thanks, Sonny. Okay, shall we just go? Let's go to breakfast. Oh, do you guys mind if we do group in jingle today?
Oh yeah, I've actually got a big announcement.
Oh, all right. Do you want to do it now or at breakfast?
No, it's a group announcement.
All right.
We're in our group.
No, but like for the class, you know, we should
I see.
probably. I don't want to. There's only so many mangoes a day, and I don't want to miss out. So can we hurry up?
Do you only eat mangoes?
No, I just really like mangoes. And there's only so many a day, and it's just like I know they have to send them from quite far away to get here, but like I really
Somebody
like
is
mangoes.
eating all the mangoes. Like I know there's just one person that
There's
is
just
like hoarding.
one person eating all the mangoes.
Who's hoarding the
I
mangoes?
don't know, but I
Actually,
like mangoes so much.
you know
guys.
what reminds me, Hiraeth, we've got to I've got to show you something when we get to breakfast quick. And she all of a sudden is like walking much quicker, like and she sort of hooks her arm in your arm and is like chivvying everyone along to get to the hall.
Okay. As we're walking, I think I've bought like I've got some form of corkscrew, I'm sure, and I'm just uncorking the bottle of wine as we move.
I'm just going to quickly, because I'm a mega bitch, remind you that you're exhausted.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So, breakfast. It is usual thing. Mango's all gone.
Shit! Fuck!
Second worst day.
Sunny sweats. Oh my god.
I
And
just really like mango, guys, and it's been like 3 days since I've had a mango. It's just
Well, hey, maybe that's our Golden Gryphen Cup.
finding mangoes.
Finding the mango thief.
Oh right, I thought you just meant our Golden Gryphen Cup was just like ordering some mangoes. Just sort of getting them sent here.
Pnevma like weaves through the long tables and sits you down with 3 other first years. One is a kind of a somewhat for a half orc petite, not really petite's not the right word, like, but slender certainly, like slate grey blue, tousled hair that goes from black to blue, and there is a tabaxi that's like tawny brown fur, and a pre-teen yellow tiefling, which looks very odd in amongst all these people who are at least 18, 19 and above. And there is this kind of 12-year-old yellow tiefling sat with a huge bag. Let's see what Sunny's passive perception is. Yeah, Sunny, bag full of fucking mangoes. The top is open and all you can see is the yellow orange of ripe, beautiful mangoes. Pnevma comes to, like, she sort of hops in next to them and goes, I want to, Hiraeth, everybody, I want to introduce, this is Corner, pointing to the half-orc. This is Prime Horizon, pointing to the tabaxi. And this is Udon, pointing to the tiefling. Hiraeth, Udon, I just had this like memory of you getting kind of beaten up the other day when you when a second year ate some toast that you made and it was like really fucking spicy, and Hiraeth is looking for spicy food.
Also, I'm looking for mangoes.
This 12-year-old tiefling like looks at all these people kind of looming over her and just goes, oh no. And picks out one mango and just pushes it across the table towards you with like huge pale eyes.
Is it like a good sized mango?
No. no.
Can I have
It's a
another
mealy
one?
little.
Can I have another one? You've got so many mangoes there. Look, mate, I don't mean to be a dick. My name's Sunny, by the way. Nice to meet you. Can I have another mango? You've taken all the mangoes.
Sunny does really love mangoes.
They're my third favourite through.
I'm making a sauce.
That's tight. I love that for you. But can I have... I'm making a sauce in my mouth called mangoes. So I would like 2 mangoes, please.
She takes back the small mango and replaces it with a big mango.
That's tight. Love that. No problem. Sonny's just going to absolutely go to town on this mango.
Yeah, you have hot sauce or?
Yes. I didn't take all the hot sauce. I made it. I'm not a thief. I did make it, and takes out there's like a kind of messenger bag, which is just a row of like lids to long bottles. And pulls one out. Do you want one?
Udon, I would love one. And I take out one of the little sort of strips, like the strips of fake Tani, and sort of like just push it over the table. Let's call it a
What's
trade.
this? What's this?
It's Tarny, from my home.
Is it drugs?
I don't think so. I think it's just Tarny.
Right, and puts it away to like investigate later. Right, this you can dip with it, or you can spread it on toast, or you can condiment, or you can drink it. You can pretty much do anything with it. If it's thick and it won't come out, then you water it down. It's quite strong, but you can try a bit. If you don't like it, I do a different one every 12 days.
Every 12? Oh, Udon, I adore you. I adore you.
Well, that one's yours.
Can I just sort of like slather it on some eggy bread, please?
Yes. Yeah, this is as soon as you take a bite in, you realize why little Udon got beaten up by the second year, because a mortal would immediately start crying at the amount of pain that the chilies would induce on a normal mouth. But your Fey taste buds can also decipher in there like gooseberries and caramel, and there's this like fizz on the tongue that tells you that she's like lightly fermented it, but not for too long, and has stopped the fermentation. Like, this shit is clever, but the chili is wild. And it's the first time that you've really felt like you've eaten food that really has layers to it, and somebody has properly thought it through. And as you're like savoring it, you can just hear this like voice, this little feminine voice going, the food here is not that bad. I really do understand that they've got to like cook for a lot of people, and it's difficult when you've got to cook for a lot of people. There's a lot of different tastes, so it does get quite bland. And I think like the trick to it really is that you've got to have like a condiment and like sauces and stuff, and then you've got to have like a little stash back at your thing.
I just put my hand up and give another piece of the Tani like straight away, as a single tear rolls out of my eye. And I just sort of sit there savoring it for a bit.
You kind of sense that the other two, that the half-orc and the tabaxi, are maybe a little relieved that some of that sauce has been pushed on somebody else. They're maybe looking forward to the second round of sauces that happen. And then the rest of breakfast is light chatter with these. Yeah.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
Does spice and fire relate in the sense that, like, would Sunny have like a genetic advantage towards eating spicy food?
I think
I imagine Sunny's eating a lot of different cuisine, but like what I don't want to do is take away from the fake taste bud thing, because I guess that it doesn't. And spice tolerance are two different things, if that makes sense.
It doesn't hit you in the mouth feel, but God, you shit a ton. Like,
I got fiery.
Here's the thing: there is a spice in the world that gives heat and spice that would be that way, but because this comes from a pepper from the ground, no.
That's what I was just trying to. And then I think at some point in the middle of the conversation, after Sunny's like housed 3/4 of this mango, I think he'd look up and just be like, sorry, it's just so quickly, I don't know if anyone asked because I was a bit busy, but why are you 12?
Oh my God, you can't just ask someone why they're 12.
I've not always been 12.
I assume not.
I've been 12 before. I got older, and then on the day when we all went for scholarship, I rashly drank a potion thinking it might give me some health back, and actually what it did was made me like this. And you sort of looking at her properly as she's talking, and she sort of does this, pointing to herself, and you realize that her clothes are wildly too big for her, and she's just sort of got a bit of twine to like tie it, like bind her clothes to her to keep her clothes on her basically and keep her decent. The other two feel quite protective of her, so are like chipping in here and there, and kind of, certainly Corner is like, she's absolutely fine, though she's really powerful. You don't need, she operates very, very well.
I assume so if she's like doing this sort of stuff, but like I think this whole source thing is like tight in that lot, but like you absolutely cannot just steal all the mangoes though.
But the kitchen won't let me have things.
What?
Udon, we will get you mangoes. We will get you mangoes.
Right,
Udon?
I really
Udon?
love that enthusiasm.
Udon, you have a friend in me.
Oh, blimey. If you ever want anything, I can tell you what ingredients to get, and I can whip it up. It's my favorite thing to do in the whole world, to make things like this. So just let me know what you want, and I'm happy to do whatever.
Just pour a lot more of the hot sauce on eggy bread and just keep going.
I assume there's like flatbreads and like normal bread. It's not all eggy.
No, eggy bread.
For sure. There's several different types of bread, sliced bread, baguettes, all that kind of thing. There is
Do you do like jams and stuff, or is it all like full liquid?
Are you talking to Udon?
Yeah.
I did make a chili jam, but it got smashed, and so I need jars and things. I'm running out of things to put, receptacles to put things in.
We'll get you jars. We will get you jars.
Really? Thanks. That's grand. And
jars we could do. I just want to sort of temper expectations on the mango front, because like logistically getting mangoes to a place like this is quite difficult.
I'm looking forward to when we get that day off and I can go to the market, because it tends to be done by the time classes are done, and so I've tried just picking them up from the gutter, the ones that get dropped, but not the best.
You don't want a floor mango.
Well, I've had a floor mango in the past, but it's better when they're better.
Fair. So sorry. It's just, was it Prime and Corner? Like, what's your situation? Anyone? Like,
There's
does one of you make bread and the other one like make their own cheese or something? Is that what you got going on?
There's like light chatter for the rest of breakfast, instead of me doing 3 people, which I normally love doing, but it's a lot of accents. But you get to know Corner Witherstone is a warlock, and that Prime is a bard, and they are all scholarship students. There was a 4th, but they died already, and so they are just 3 in their cloister. And they are having a roller coaster of time. You could see like Corner particularly is not exactly, you've already got this idea of what the warlock fuckboys are like, and Corner does not fit into that template, and they're all still reeling of losing their 4th within the first couple of days of term, and so it is not like there's sort of somewhere between trodden down already and rabbit in the headlights, and but you sort of sit for a good half an hour with them, eating breakfast and getting to know them, and you realize that your cloister is not a million. You're all in the same wing, but different. Obviously, they're a little bit further down the way. And so then you move on to group, I'm guessing, which is, why am I so red there? You're going to Jingle?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to do group in Jingle.
Yeah.
Do we have to check in and group first and then go, we're going to go to Jingle? Or is it like...
That's up to you. I'd say it's this is it's day 4. You wouldn't know whether that's the right thing to do. You've never asked, so maybe do. I don't know. I can't speak for what you think is best. But
do you ask that?
Yeah.
I mean, would it be better for us to have this conversation that we need to have in one of the rooms before we go to Jingle? I know how animated we can get. So I wonder whether the library is the best place.
It's a good point. Jingle, they keep shushing people, so maybe.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Is that okay with you, Alex? And
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
you were like, let's go to Jingle. Is it just in case you want to go there, not like you want to spend the whole time there?
No, I just need to get books from there.
Oh, that's tight. Well, let's go to group and we'll teach.
All right.
Fuck, what's her name again? Because of P.
Miss Philos.
Philos.
In fact, you go to your room 2, that windowless room, and you sit down, and there's that kind of beat, and Sunny is about to start talking when the door opens and Miss Philos walks in, and behind Miss Philos, let me just get to the right side, is the High Master, Lady Sophronia Epissimos. And they walk in, and then from behind the High Master is another person. Wet, green-grey, scaly skin, thin, damp strands of black hair sort of drip from their head. Large, fleshy lips that hang slightly open, revealing like stubby little teeth. Eyes that seem sort of lidless somehow and are milky white. Her arms are almost long enough to drag on the floor, and her long webbed feet are loosely bound into neat, bejeweled sandals. She's wearing a fur-rimmed cloak that's already a little damp round the neck, and as she steps in from behind the High Master, Pnevma immediately goes and she just sort of smiles broadly at everybody, and the High Master says, Dodeca, wonderful to meet you, Miss Fifield, Mr. Birchwater, Miss Kiss, Mr. Agvi. I am so happy to meet you all on a more personal level. This is Mistress Yikros, and she is our esteemed student counsellor. If you are ever having a tough time and you need somebody to talk to, it's Miss Yikros that you go to. She is a wonderful listener and has deep wisdoms that even myself have called upon in the past. And Mistress Yigros is just smiling and nodding from behind her. So I just wanted to come and the 3 of us sit with you for a little while, because this morning I had a lovely conversation with the city prefect and some interesting detective custers, and about the events of last night. I just wanted to get a play-by-play of what happened from you guys before reports are written and things are sent to the courts. It's so much harder to do corrections once the official paperwork has been done. And they all sit around this big circular table and sort of look at each of you in turn, wanting to hear the story. So I don't necessarily need you to tell me the story, but I'd like you to tell me what perspective you're giving, truth you're giving, essentially everything.
Yeah, I think Agatha gives everything from her perspective of like George giving her the thing, her being like checking out the house and being like there's something weird, and breaking in, getting trapped in the mirror, and then we'll pass off to someone else to be like, then I was just trapped, and
Yeah, I give everything from my sort of perspective, including sort of leaving the opponent bar and going back to someone's cloister, and then running back and meeting them, and all of the above, in a very kind of blasé attitude.
Well, I'll be frank. The outcome is wonderful. That poor woman is now free and on a journey of recovery because of your tenacity. I'm not overly happy with how you got there. Miss Philos can give you some pointers for any work that you might do in the future, using a little bit more of this.
I did use mine.
Oh, yes, I see what you're doing there, but what I'm talking about a little bit more is like using your mind rather than
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about as well. I'm not all horns, miss. I went and got the customs and I went in with permission, and I also asked for their help and stuff. Like, I used
wonderful. All great stuff. What I think I would say is there was also, it seems to me from the way that you just told me, that there's a little bit of a fawn in a porcelain shop vibe going on. And, what if you had been wrong? What if we'd had lost 3 precious students to this powerful mirror for many years? Many things here could have happened that would have made you criminals and saved no one. Having said that, congratulations. I will be putting merit marks in your files for local heroic works done, and you're not even 5 days in the term. Very, very proud. I do think, it's too much to ask really for you to be a perfect team so early on, but that's what Miss Philos is here for. And she sort of nods. Miss Philos is behind, like nodding. Great. Yes, Mr.
Well,
Burke.
this is Nikki asking Lydia if I can roll an insight check.
Of course, yeah.
I think when she's talking about you might not be the perfect team straight away, Hiraeth absolutely just sort of giggles to himself slightly.
So Sonny's basically going, this is them trying to tell us off, but it didn't go wrong, so they can't really tell us off. So but my actual insight, which I rolled a 22 on, is on the counsellor woman.
Okay, just realised not even a single dice in front of me.
It's mostly just sort of a vibe check, because she reminds me of the cook from Matilda. You know when Bruce Brogtrotter is on the stage eating the cake, and there's that old woman, like school cook's like, I put my blood, sweat and tears into this, and it's like horrific.
You liked my cake, didn't you, Bruce?
No. Oh god.
Yeah.
So your insight check is not for the High Mistress at all. It's just for Mistress Yegros.
Sonny's got a 16 in his passive insight. I think he knows when he's being politely told off.
I think with a passive insight of 14, that is her manner is a bit like that. And actually, she's quite genuine when she says that she's very pleased with you. But she's got a way of never sounding overly sincere, because there's a posh, clipped way that she talks that makes her sound quite kind of sarcastic. But actually,
it's my yaya, so any praise sounds like it itself.
Yeah, she is. If anything, you might sense that she's just sort of, the term has barely started. She's already got dealings with the local police, which is not her favorite, but she's, in many ways, she's looking at you as like already the golden children who have made yourself local heroes, and you're not even at the first day off yet. As far as Mistress Yigros goes, you're like sort of looking, you were the person who didn't really give your full take, and you was just sort of like looking at Mistress Yigros, and she catches your eye, those milky eyes, and then the kind of eyelids from the side just like lick over her eyes, and
membrane. Horrendous.
And there's a smile that happens, and you feel a kind of whew, and this aura of warm motherly feelings comes out from her, which is hard to resist. There's no saving throw or anything. There's
fucking hag.
No, I think she's a paladin.
No, she's like wet.
Why not both?
Wet.
You could be a wet paladin.
No, she's like wet, like scaly. Her hair is like.
She's a Triton, maybe.
That is the. We have seen so many sexy Tritons in Lydia's world.
Sorry,
This is the moment when I decide that all Tritons look like this.
Like
reverse mer people.
Also, the powerful motherly feelings of which there's no save against. Screams hag.
Yeah, some hags can be good, right?
I'm not saying it's
I'd
not.
say this: there's no saving throw, because there's nothing that's being forced on you. You're welcome to have whatever opinion you have about her, but
Hag.
yeah, I would say it is closer to a like an aura, like a paladin aura, which is that it's a natural boost of feeling like everything's okay. You're okay. No one's cross. Mum's not cross.
I feel like Sunny's always at everything's okay maximum, so like just nothing changes.
This is really disconcerting for Agatha. She never really gets in trouble, but when she does, her mum is like on it. So she's like, "When does the yelling begin?"
I love that Sunny also almost has like abrasive optimism. It's like this aura is sort of brushing towards him, and he's going, "Fuck off! I know." I know everything's
fine.
I've got enough good vibes actually, so if you could just back off.
Oh god, there's
My
nothing
vibes are
like trying to
outstanding,
give
actually,
a Nikki character magical happiness. I'm just remembering when Wolfgang got calm emotion.
He wants none of
Poor
it.
Gaius.
So we're not in trouble.
No, and Miss Philos kind of comes in. Oh no. We're there will be follow-up, because of course there's going to be Jerome or Thonos. He's going to court, and so we're yet to see whether they're going to call any of you as witnesses. But if they are, you'll be absolutely, the school will be 100% behind you. And I think the three of us are here. Mistress Yigros is here to see if everybody is happy and recovered, or if somebody needs to have a little bit of a decompress. And the High Master is here to take your statements, and I'm simply here to talk about how you fared as a group. And if you're ready to take any pointers, if you even want any, I'm always going to be here to help you work more cohesively together. And I know that you used your second year mentors, which I'm so happy about. That's what they're there for. So we can talk. We can just go through all of that. Doesn't have to be now. But I'm always here.
I think, all things considered, we did a pretty good job, considering Agatha and Pnevma were in the mirror world, Hiraeth was by himself, and I was in a completely different school. Somehow we managed to come together.
Yes. In fact, if you're ready, and there's a sort of awkward shuffling about, and people are saying goodbye.
Oh no!
Goodbye.
Wait, sorry, Miss Counsellor Yigros.
Yigros, yeah.
Yigros, yeah. Sorry, do you Can I recommend a student to you? Because there's a second year called Henry. And
Yes.
He you desperately need something.
Oh, I know Henry very well.
If, like, I don't want to diagnose no one with nothing or something, but like I feel like he's maybe got survivor's guilt and he's taken it out on the first years as he's like, you don't know what's coming, and like he's like sort of like resents our like youthful optimism because I think like maybe he's gone through something terrible. It's either that or it's just a pure bastard all the way down.
This is very perceptive. Very perceptive. I thank you, and I will see you all very soon. If you want to talk, I'm in the dark low wing, first door of all the faculty doors. I always have a jug of cool pomegranate juice and scones, both sweet and savory. If you ever want to talk, if you're feeling like it's too much, that's what I'm here for. And a sort of long tongue just licks round her cheek, and with that, Mistress Yigros and the High Master make their leave, and Miss Philos stays. Goes, right, well, with all of that formality out of the way, Miss Birchwater, how was Calagiolas?
It was rough, miss.
Oh.
It's a real bummer.
I can imagine it would be.
Wait, why?
And I know the counsellor, they've got their job cut out for them.
Yeah, they very recently, the whole school was like devastated with something.
It was nothing short of a student war.
Yeah, so they just sort of, you know, they're sort of dealing with that. And then I was there, you know, being my usual self, and like, you know how some flowers only like bloom in the moonlight?
Right.
Yeah, even a ray of sunshine is just not welcome in their situation. So everyone was sort of like doing their usual stuff, and I was there being like, "You're right," and then they were just sort of like scowling. And then I saw one bloke, and I was like, "How's it going?" And he just immediately started crying. It was just so rough. Like I just couldn't do nothing to help no one, and like they were really limited on what food they had, right? So they were sort of like doing like a big protein thing just to make sure everyone was like alive and stuff, and like they just didn't really have much in the way of vegan food, so I didn't eat, right? Oh, and then I met some guy called Sed who was tight. He seems nice, and he helped me with like the levitating board and whatnot. Oh, and then I went out into the town with like Kai and Sed, and we just sort of like had lunch and a few drinks, and then Kai went and bought some really expensive like wizard chalks, like they were just like, he was like, "Oh, it's nothing. I just wanted to buy myself something nice while I'm here." And I was like, "That looks really expensive." And he was like, "Yeah, but it's fine," because he's the sort of person who likes the nice things in life. But yeah, they were like really expensive, and I'm probably not one to like spend money, but it's like the sort of stuff that
I get
but,
it.
Like, and then after that, like I met the other guys from the other cloister, and they were so happy when I got there. They were like, "We've got an idea, it's gonna be great, all we need is this thing." And they were like, "Oh, like, can you help us?" And I was like, "Yeah, totally," because you know me, I just absolutely love helping anyone any way I can. And then they were just like, "Right, so we're gonna do all this stuff, and then like all we need you to do is to, you know, Miss Philos, can you cover your ears for a second?"
Oh.
Lie to the headmaster of Calagiolas.
No, I heard that. Terrible. Oh my goodness.
Sorry,
it's too big. My word. Listen.
No, look. I asked you to cover your ears, and that is a sacred covenant, and we entered a bond in that moment, and then you broke that.
It takes at least 3 yards of fabric to plug up these ears.
Right. Anyway, if you, and then I said, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that." And then, like, I was listening to their plan, and it sounded like they was want to do a lot of stuff that they didn't want to do. And they were like, "Yeah, you just need to lie and say you're going to sponsor us." And I was like, I don't really feel super comfortable with that. But what about if I just actually helped you and just sort of, like, lent you some resources that, like, I have access to? And then Ionia had, like, a face like thunder. And I think I sort of irreparably damaged that relationship because I've sort of put myself in a position of power because, like, I've taken away their agency by going, "I'll give you this thing for free," and they've just sort of gone. They were quite excited to, you know, give up like their own time and stuff in order to like do something off their own back, and I was just sort of like, I actually don't feel comfortable doing that. And I think I was right in saying both. I don't feel comfortable doing the lie, and also I can give you this thing, but I think it has maybe irreparably damaged the relationship. Also, I'm sort of regretting saying, well, why don't you think about it and let me know what you want to do? And I've sort of made it seem like they have to come and ask me for help, and I just sort of regret that part.
Yeah, because that's gonna suck.
Ianra.
Yeah.
Who's that?
She's the one from the other cloister. I went with her and Cole and other names that I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Ianra.
I've been given a lot of detail that I wasn't quite expecting, which is fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
No, but bottom line is, no one's doing a lie. Bottom line.
I'm so glad to hear it. And what it sounds like to me, what I'm gathering, what I'm hearing from this, is that you guided them to a place of honesty.
Mess, I really appreciate you trying to like put a positive spin on it, but it also just sort of put me in a savior position, which further imbalances the relationship.
Okay. Well, moving on. I wanted to know, I remembered that you had a wonderful idea of jumping mountains for your
We was
group
going to
project.
jump from one mountain to another. We weren't going to jump a mountain. That's crazy.
But what I do remember was that it wasn't the only idea, that you were probably going to try and find something else to do. And so I just thought I'd check in and see how that was going and what assistance I could give you.
Well, Agatha smashed out her one already. Like, she had an idea. We've just sort of done it. She's
Oh, is that
absolutely
is
smashed
this
it.
is this your Golden Gryphen Cup
Well,
entry?
I mean, I guess if nothing else comes about, then
So we can pencil that one in. We can just give up on the jump, because the jump,
Yeah, I
right?
think
Because
maybe
Agatha
that's-
was like, this is our idea. It was the best idea we had, and she's absolutely smashed it, and we were involved, so
I won't lie, I'm quite glad, because the thought of the bureaucracy involved in building a ramp on a sierra of mountains, it's a tough one.
My dad always says it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
I'm going to steer you clearly away from that concept while you're here at the Divisia Sensus, just clearly away. We like crisp, clean paperwork here.
Yeah,
Alright, so
but like
Sunny.
Hiraeth got blasted, so that like really bad. Like there were like burn marks in a house, so like that's
Can
got to
we-
count for points, right?
Can we actually like just forget about yesterday, and maybe just think of something new to do?
Does anyone else have any idea, dears? And then Sonny's gonna do that thing where he's like,
I think there's a sort of weighted look towards Agatha, and as I say, well, I have one, but you seem
Well,
to
that's
have...
exciting. Do tell me, Hiraeth. What's your idea?
No. Sunny seems to have an idea.
whatever. Would you say that, Hiraeth?
Whatever would you say that, Hiraeth? Okay, so
Right, Sunny.
You
what's
have
your
the
idea?
floor, Sunny. Go ahead.
Right. So do you remember first time I was like, well, where I'm from, on the other side of the desert, there's like this really dangerous place that like wars have been fought over. The Hiraeth, the Blood in the Sands.
Yeah.
And then I was all like, maybe we can do something there because it's so dangerous and like crazy that like they're like maybe we could go there and just sort of figure it out there.
Yeah.
And then we found out that other cloister was like, we were gonna go there and do a thing.
Right.
And it was all like, that's so dangerous. And then we sort of like left it. And then I just sort of got like not bothered with the Golden Gryphen Cup thing. But then like we had a conversation that you seemed really into it, Agatha. So I've just sort of like. Anyway, so I was talking to Kimber, and she was all like, well, actually, I had a temple there,
All
right?
right.
Where a clinic there where I used to help people.
So we find Kimber's
And
temple.
there's probably artifacts there if they ain't been looted already, and Kimber seems to think they ain't. So like,
Alright.
maybe, right, we could get one of these artifacts, and bring it back and be like, look, this is an artifact of a saint, and then maybe we can like canonize a saint into like known religion.
how does that sound, Felis? Felis?
You're pulling a
Philos.
face.
Felos.
I'm processing quite a lot of information, So you are going specifically with the idea that you're going to try and find this temple and get some artifacts from it.
Long lost, destroyed, and hidden from history temple, yeah.
Because you are speaking directly to a patron saint.
Yeah.
Wonderful. This group, so promising, really love it.
What's the big deal?
It is extremely rare. It's extremely rare. But here's what I'll add. My two pennies worth here is probably every year we get a group who want to go to Aima Edifos and sort of solve it. I wouldn't recommend that, because we have literally put all of the whole empire's best mages, and Khotan have put all of their best mages into trying to solve the problem for decades, and it's really not worked. So 4 first-year students won't do it. But I see that that's not what you're doing, which is great. And I would say that if you really do some research on the area that you might go to, then you gain a little bit of strength. This could be a lovely idea. I'll add my little bit of understanding, which is quite small, is that the years after the war, people did bring items back. Often they were families that were hiring people to get the bodies of their loved ones back, and it would be items that would be on the bodies. And what they found quite quickly is that anything that had spent any time there is very quickly corrupted. So, whilst I say don't rush to go there, because you do want to be as strong as possible, I would say that if it's been there any amount of time, there will have to have been some kind of sacred magic that keeps it from being horribly corrupted and mutated.
Like a saint's magic, right?
We are hoping that's exactly why I think this is a promising idea.
Think about that. God, these problems keep solving themselves. It's so great.
All right.
I think you're on a wonderful. I think you're on a great track. Very promising idea. I won't lie. I really must go and see that other group. I'm also going to aim at Edwards because I've got a lot of questions to ask them.
Miss, please. No.
So you go and do some research. No. What they need right now is quite a lot of support from me and a lot of help, because it feels like they're working quite hard all on their own, and
they are. But I just don't want to take your agency away from them.
No. Well, listen, this is a school after all. You can't burden yourself with everything. That's not the whole concept of a school. Is that you have to learn and you have to, absorb from other people. That's what I'm here for. So I'm just going to go there now. Well done, everyone.
Okay.
Bye. And she walks out, and Pnevma's like, ugh, fuck, there's a lot of teachers, isn't it? Jesus.
It's a lot of positivity for a morning.
Pnevma has screwed up a bit of paper and throws it at you. Hiraeth, you went fucking somebody while we were in Mira.
Only for a second. And then I was back.
Okay.
I changed. I saw the error of my ways, Pnevma. Another swig.
Can I insight check Hiraeth? I'm terrible at it, but...
I have a question. Is that wine diluted? Or is it pre-diluted, like wine that we would know today? Or is it historical, Dionysian?
This is fairy wine, so it's not even wine as anyone here would know it.
Cool.
I rolled an 18 insight on Hiraeth.
What does that get her?
I mean, what are you looking to insight from Hiraeth right now?
Him saying I just went for a second and then I came back. She's trying to do the. Did you really do that, or did you go and then someone else was like, oh, shouldn't you do the thing? Or she's just trying to figure out
Cool.
Whether whether Hiraeth, I guess, genuinely looks like he feels bad, or if he's just yeah, and then I had to come back because.
So I think with an 18, you probably see through the fact that this kind of slightly cavalier attitude about it, and the fact that actually I felt intensely guilty for being there, and sort of immediately came back. I think you probably see that.
Okay, yeah. There is genuine like.
It was a genuine sort of moment of clarity, pre-nut.
Wow,
where
pre-nut.
Pnevma got a 4 on her insight just for your like.
Okay, cool.
Better knowledge.
Yeah, it was genuinely a moment of clarity where he went, "What am I doing here? My friends are stuck in a mirror." Or my friends are stuck in an attic, and that was kind of like I think you do see that.
Whatever reason you came back, thank you.
Right, well, let's go to Jingle, where we be quiet, but we're going to...
Right, guys, sorry, this was so tense after all that, like, all the teacher positivity. Can we just, like, do a quick, like, nice breaker, like, before we go to Jingle and we're not allowed to talk? Because that'll be really difficult for me.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a nice breaker?
Are you saying nice breaker?
Yes, where you go around the room and you say one nice thing about the person to your left.
Oh, fuck.
I really don't want to do that.
Sonny, you have missed quite a lot of things, and this is maybe not... You know what?
Hiraeth, I think you carry yourself really well, and I think that in spite of your otherworldly charms, you wouldn't know you as sort of like a stranger in a strange land situation because of your exuberant confidence. Your turn!
Buddy, I love you. Shall we go to Jingle?
Yeah, please.
This is not fair.
Agatha's up.
I will say, Agatha, the nipple I can see through your negligee is very good color. You get great nipple color.
You have very good pigmentation.
It's like a teaspoon nipple. Like it's fine. Like
what?
You'll be fine.
Welcome to all our new viewers.
No, like, oh my god. Okay, like Agatha is just covering herself up with her books and like doing that thing where she's
With a bush.
But
With the books. Right.
Trying to pull like her the dress down so it's like covering her arse.
It's very, very fashionable in Grand Pailly to,
sure
you know.
is.
No, it is.
I
have to rouge my nipples, you know, so you're very lucky.
If like in the summers in Pailly, it's like dresses and stuff that are like just below and like just up to. Like if you shift it either way, something's coming out.
I tell you what, if Mav was here, he would absolutely be going, "Yes, darling, I mascara my nipple hair."
Up or out?
He's got eyelashes.
Oh my god, this is the
False
worst.
eyelashes for the nipples. Oh my god, we got this strange place so quickly.
Oh my god, can I just go to the library, please?
It's dark in there, no one will see it.
Is it?
It's like dark and candlelit, right?
There's no candlelight in there.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is.
sorry.
It's
Like
not
magical
candlelit.
candle.
Very specifically,
Yeah.
not candlelit. It's arcane crystal lit. There is a line of people that are going into Jingle, the library, and you have to don your sashes, so
Oh,
you
thank God.
yourself are jingling as you go in, and you
Can
have
I
a
wear
spare one.
fiders? I'm double like covering up.
Like the candlelit.
Yeah. With my sashes.
Um,
God.
and you go into this cool, dark atmosphere of Jingle, and there are within the tall bookshelves, there are little areas like low tables with cushions where groups of people work together, or single people have just got loads of books around, so it's very easy for you to find an area where the four of you can kind of camp and then go off and do research and come back to the table with your books. So what I think I'll do is this preemptively, because I know there's lots of different things that people want to do in here. If you are doing a long-term research project, I don't necessarily need investigation, because you have the possibility, if you want to take the charm off every single book in your subject, put it on your sash, and take weeks to read every single book. So you don't need an investigation roll. But if you are investigating something that you don't want to walk around with, or that you are just wanting to read right now, you do have to roll an investigation for what you can find, do you know what I mean? Like what you can glean, what you're looking for on your own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for example, if you're going there to investigate everything you can on the Aima Ediphos, I can just drip feed you the information as time goes by, as you're kind of working your way through all the books that are there. If you're there and you're like, I'd also like to have like this sneaky read up on making mead because I want to take over the family business, I don't know, then I will there's going to be a Fey meadery in town that absolutely outstrips the Apony and it'll be called The Apology.
Oh, God.
Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Nikki?
Just because I think I don't just need to confirm where mine lies, because I do want to do all the research, the like traditional book research, but I was actually hoping to see if I imagine I couldn't take this from Jingle, but like if they have an archive of historical maps.
They do.
Because my thought process is most buildings are built on roads traditionally, or like on paths.
Wasn't her temple built in in the jungle or something though, right? Like it was built in
The way she described it's in the middle of a forest.
in the middle of the forest.
But like there's not a forest there anymore, right?
No.
So I need to find a map and see if I can mark forest.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Basically, I'm trying to find historical maps of like people who have like gone over that area, but pre-war.
Pre it being Aima Ediphos when it was Mythenfold. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking for basically maps of Mythenfold.
Okay.
And I assume there's no way I can take that stuff out, right?
Absolutely
That's
not,
like
yeah.
white glove situation and like
Truly
special
is.
run.
It truly is. So what we'll do for that is you'll roll investigation for trying to work that stuff out. And then if you wanted to like draw your own copy of it, we would do
Is there any way I can interest you in something that isn't investigation?
No, that is truly as investigation as it gets.
Even history? That would take me from a -1 to a +0.
It really wouldn't be.
Okay.
If you were deciding to read a book first and then come back to it, then possibly. But no, I think this absolutely needs to be investigation.
I think Sonny's gut feeling is maps.
Yeah.
And I think his ideal one is a modern map and a map that shows the forest, so he can sort of trace both. And yeah, Tom's got it.
How about you?
4.
Oh, bud.
Okay, so the first thing that happens is you look at a few maps first of like Aima Ediphos. Those are the ones at the top of the pile that are brought out. So those are the ones you're scanning as they're getting the Mythenfold ones, which are older and more delicate. And every single one is different. And it is explained to you by Vodinos, I believe his name is, Master Vodinos, that is very much because the landscape is shifting all of the time, and purely because people go in and they are permanently terrified. There's no calm cartography that happens in Aima Ediphos. You go in, you run around screaming, hoping you don't die, and then if you run out alive, then you're so happy that you have done. So each map is quite different. And so that is, there's some things that might, you'd really have to go through it and use like a kind of clever eye to work it out. And then when you look at the old maps of Mythenfold, they're beautiful to start off with, really beautiful. You can see it's so wild to look at these two sets of maps. This lush land, and you don't get any concept, and then you sort of sit there, and I truly think this is such a Sunny way of doing things. You might then occur to you that you do have somebody that could point to the map. Somebody who lived in the land. Kimber. But it takes hours of looking at all of these maps, and after the conversation with the High Master, group is basically over, and you're like, right, next time I'll probably talk to just ask Kimber to point. But you
trying to be independent.
but what a 4 will give you is a basic understanding of what the shape of it. I think maybe in Sunny's mind he thinks of Aima Edifos is this place that's near Kuala, whereas actually Aima Edifos is this enormous country, this strip of land, so it's much bigger than he first thought. So you've got a better idea of what
I'm just going to say this. In our last campaign, I rolled a natural 20 and got terrifying fish babies to attack me. This time I just rolled a 4 and got actual positive information. So,
Newtonian rolls.
Yeah.
Listen, you can only hope for fish babies, terrifying fish babies. That was my gift to you, and I can't believe that you're so ungrateful.
They're quantum rolls, like they're like Schrodinger's roll. Like what is on the dice actually? You learn what's on the dice after Lydia's given you the information, and you just sort of assign that a number of usefulness.
This is the part of the chaos of Wicked Game is that it doesn't go chronologically like in success rate. Yeah. It's just a number.
I would like
We're joking, Lydia. It's situational.
Just for a second, that was a natural 20 on a performance check to shout, and I thought, what's that going to do? It's going to really effectively tell everybody in the close vicinity, including scary fish babies, that you're right there. So that is what a natural 20 gets. Anyway, moving on, because I'm not bitter at all. Who else has got something they want to do in the library?
I would like to speak to Kimber about any not Kimber. Who am I talking about?
Who are you?
The librarian. What's he called?
Vordanos. Yeah.
Wait, who is Kimber?
My saint.
Kimber is his patron saint who you've made.
I'm so sorry. God. Okay. I'd like to walk up to Vordanos and essentially, Master Vordanos.
Yes.
Hello. I was wondering whether you could tell me where I might find any books with information from your world about the Fae. I'm intrigued as to what you know, what you've been told.
Well, he sort of looks. There's an assistant behind the counter who's sort of briefly holding the desk, and he indicates for you to walk with him as he quietly talks to you. We do have a very wide selection of Fae-related materials. Much of it is actually given to us by the Fae many years ago when the treaties were signed, and we were given factual information for our archive because transport between realms would be scarcer from there. Having said that, we do have some materials that are written by people for first-hand accounts. If that helps at all. And you sort of turn a corner and he points out that there's sort of an entire row of Fae-related literature. And he points out what is like Fae fiction and what is about the provinces, what is about the geography, and what is about the politics, all of that kind of stuff, basically.
I listen patiently, and I kind of, at the end, I say, what I'm looking for is much more to do with the summoning of Fae by your people.
Well, I would start with, we have some books here which will tell you a history of the rewriting of our magic. And if you would like to see the original spells, that is in our restricted section.
Remind me, Lydia, are normal students allowed in the restricted section?
Supervised, yeah.
Cool. I sort of I nod a couple of times and say thank you. I'll start with the unrestricted stuff. One last question. Like now that we're kind of further away, I look at him and say, there is a certain spellbook that was taken from Jingle at some point last year and found its way into the hands of one of my cloister mates. I wonder whether you could direct me to that particular book.
That is one of the restricted books that I was talking about. That is a book of the original summoning spells that we are no longer permitted to cast, hence the restriction. It is kept in the library and not destroyed completely for the sake of research, but no student is allowed to copy it into their spell book.
Well, there was a bit of a slip up there, wasn't there?
There was. I can assure you that we now work under stronger warding, and though none of the repercussions had anything to do, that was entirely up to people who are much higher up than me. We keep a closer eye on everybody that deals with the restricted books now, and we hope that it will never happen again.
May I see that book?
Come with me. And you are walked over. It's quite a long walk through various small corridors. And he turns to you and says, you will need to remove your bags and empty your pockets. And he indicates there's a couple of baskets. And you will walk through warding. It is my recommendation that when you feel that warding asking something of you, that you give into it and don't try and push back. It is there. The warding is there to prevent spell casting, and you will feel the effect if you try and cast a spell. And you will also feel the effect if you try and leave with anything that you do not walk in with.
I've been clipped before.
Understood. So I'm assuming that you go through this whole thing?
Yeah, I do.
And when
whilst I'm going through this, can I just ask, are these measures that were put in place after last year or before?
a lot of these measures have always been here. We now have new measures, which you will discover when you go in.
So how did he get this book out?
Mr. Agvi, I suggest if you would like information on the events that happened that day, you speak to somebody other than me.
Master Vardanas, with all due respect, this is your purview, and this affected my people. I'm very aware of the perceived power at play here, be it master and pupil. But this is not just a student asking a question. This is a people asking a people about a breach of security on an interplanar scope.
Mr. Agvi, it occurs to me that your father did not tell you what was discussed and discovered when you came here and was given the full rundown with complete transparency. The agreement of your attending this school is not for a continued interrogation. So I'll repeat, if you would like to know the events that happened, you will have to talk to the High Master, not me. It is not for me to condemn a young man.
No, it's not.
If you would like to step in and have a look at the book, you're still welcome to.
Thank you. And I, step in, take a look at the book.
As you step in, there is this moment of pressure change. It's like when you step out of a plane into a really hot country, except possibly the opposite, because the air does not move at all. And there is no noise within this room. And so you can't hear your footsteps. You can't hear really anything at all. And there's no breeze. There's no, the light is extremely uniform and low. And as he, with his back to you, dispels some warding on cages and then unclips chains and pulls out a tome, and without ever taking his hands off it, opens the book and gently lifts the pages and shows you a very ancient spell that you would have to roll to try and understand.
Okay. I I look at this spell very, very closely and go, "What's over there?" and rip it out and just shove it in my mouth.
All right.
No.
All right.
I'm taking...
fight.
Eviscerated immediately.
I'll roll. I'll roll to see. Hiraeth is.
What are you actually trying to do? Because I'm scared right now.
I'd like to just see if I can read this spell in any way.
Please roll Arcana for me.
At disadvantage. Why am I rolling digitally?
Why are you rolling at disadvantage?
Because I am exhausted.
Oh, true.
Oh man, that is the
I'm
level of
remembering
honesty.
that, yeah.
I respect that.
That was 2 11s.
Okay.
So
That's
11.
22.
For my honesty, that's 22.
You cannot read this spell at all. You don't know the spell that people would do now, so you've got nothing to compare it to. You wouldn't even know what anything within the realm of conjuration looks like. And so what an 11 gets you is, that's cute. Shapes.
Cool.
It is
Cool.
magic. Looks like it anyway.
And you can tell that it's old. You can tell that it's very, very ancient. That's it.
Is it like looking at a recipe in another language? Like the literal page layout looks familiar. You know what the numbers are, but it's like I can see this is a recipe, and I think that word might mean
And
cheese.
written
Yeah.
by someone's Italian great grandmother.
Is this metric or is it just pinches?
A scooch. It's like a what?
just a scotch of this and a schlim of that. I think, fuck it. I think Hiraeth just stares at it for a second, realizing that this is marginally futile currently, and thinks about ripping it up, knowing that it's absolutely the worst possible idea, and just kind of nods a couple of times and says, thank you for showing me. I
Thank you for coming.
have no idea what this means.
I can show you a little. I'm not a great caster, but I
Just
do
does
understand.
it again.
Yeah. Just to
The other
clarify.
half gets ripped in. And oh no, that actually none of this happens because you can't speak. So all of that conversation would have happened once you walked out, and you are putting your your things back in your pockets and your bag over your shoulder. And as you're walking back, he is talking you through how. And this is, we are talking pre-Empire. He explains to you that there were horrible relations between the Maradia that was pre-Empire and the Feywild.
Yeah.
And those were the days when you cast a conjuration spell to bring a Fey being, it was just anybody from the Feywild. It could be anyone at any time. And when the first emperor came to power, they had talks with the leaders of the Feywild, and basically they drew up this treaty that you understand, which loosely controls the movement of people between, there's obviously exceptions, but also rewrote all the conjuration spells to the way you understand them to be. So now not any normal person is ripped out of their normal lives to experience fighting and potential trauma in the material plane. It is, as you know, which I won't say too much about because I think you want to talk about it time.
Did the Fae have like a summon bloke spell?
Yeah, that's what I keep
Well,
thinking.
Interestingly enough,
like
he does mention this because
Steve!
it was part of the negotiation that the Lord Pater at the time basically threatened the Emperor and said, if you don't stop summoning our people, we will summon every person and enslave them in the Feywild. So you better get your shit together. And
there is
essentially
a summon bloke spell. But
there is.
They're restricted.
Summon bloke, and it can be done it's basically a cantrip for the Fae. So
I've got Steves and Dougs coming out my
I think Hiraeth just kind of locks that information away for a later day, and as I suppose as we're sort of like walking back towards where our table is, because I don't want to take too much more time with this.
take all the time that you need, Thomas.
I think I say, I don't suppose you know how many of these original books there are.
I don't. I could research it for you. I know there's one here. I know that Kalak Yolas has one. I know that the capital has one, and beyond that, I could ask some of my contacts, but I doubt I could ever give you a fully accurate account, because all those thousands of years ago, anyone with a spell book would have tried to hide it instead of handing it in and rewriting it. And I couldn't speak to the laws put in place for handing those in.
Well, thank you. You've been great help.
I would always want to be of help, especially in matters like this.
I believe that.
Good. Well, I'll go back to my desk, and please do find me if you need me. And he walks away. Amazing. Agatha.
Yes, this is my jam. Agatha's in her element. She's like, I can do this.
She's in her elephant.
So, thing she wants to get is obviously the 3 books for Fida, so she'll probably try and do them first, just so she's got them and doesn't forget.
Yep.
Yeah,
you don't need to roll for that because you literally have the titles written down.
Yeah.
You can send a mole.
Yeah.
Yep, those
I'll be
rolls go off. Yeah.
This is what I need. And then I think she's gonna, in terms of like the aim at Ediphos stuff, she's just gonna, unlike Sunny, she's not gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna tackle this one thing. She's like, I'm just gonna get any information I can and try and take in as much as I can. So I think that's something she's just gonna do like over time.
I
like,
can
really
drip feed that
bunch
to you. Yeah, yeah.
But a thing she's gonna try and sneakily do is find books on the Fae.
Okay.
To find information about.
Wouldn't it be well fun if you two ended up in that one?
Well, that's
aisle
I
accidentally?
imagined Agatha walked down and then did the baby backing away thing when when she saw
Me an investigation, please.
Yes, absolutely. Dirty 20.
Oh, very good. All right. I'll say. Oh, give me a sneak roll. Why am I calling it sneak now?
Sneak.
Stealth.
Oh, hasn't he already gone? That's a 10.
You go to the aisle, see them, and as you turn around, you just see Pnevma leaning, going, "Oh yeah, what are you doing?"
I just want to know more.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah.
But like, I don't want people to know.
Okay. She'll be lookout for you. She's not going to start rootling around in books for you because it feels like not a great thing to do to Hiraeth, but she will make sure that you don't get caught by Hiraeth looking at this stuff because that's only going to fracture the group further.
Yeah.
And you got a 20. So having talked already quite a lot about it, I'll kind of briefly go through what you discover.
Yeah.
This dirty 20 is pretty good. So you discover the thing about the old government having a terrible, that wars were nearly breaking out between the Feywild and the material plane, specifically Maradia before it was an empire. The treaty that now we have this thing where mortals can visit the Fae, but they don't tend to come back. And if they, the few that do return tend to be bound up in these awful contracts that are like a curse to them and many generations into the future. You discover that the Feywild was once a mirror to the material plane, but that there was so much magic that it kind of spun the world into this like deadly paradise. It is more fertile, it's more beautiful, but it is also more deadly. That the people who lived there were so loved by the gods that they were given the gift of immortality and became the leaders of the realm. That time there is very, very whimsical, and that only the most holy can even tell time.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that the changing of seasons, and seasons there are dawn, day, dusk. And the changing of the seasons are read by this revered circle of people who live outside of the provinces being the province of dawn, the province of day, and the province of dusk. Okay. And they read the world and the gods. They speak to the gods, and they let people know when there's going to be a changing of the seasons. But days can be any amount of time. Okay. Days can stretch out, therefore seasons can stretch out, and this is why there's this enormous amount of celebration of gods in order to try. For example, I really don't want to rabbit hole because I could talk about this stuff for ages, but like the concept that you could have one season for so long that it would literally ravage the soil, or that you would be in one, it would really mess you up to only have dawn for a split second, like a couple of days of one season, which is basically your when you do all your farming and stuff, because then you go into these other seasons where you can't really harvest, and so you're going to have a food shortage. So that is why the Fae have an enormous amount of celebrations and like solstice feast days and all of that kind of thing, because they're always praying for decent season like spreads, as it were. But I'm not describing it very well, but anyway.
No, you're doing a great job.
Yes, great.
And also that the seasons, it's not just weather and stuff that changes, it actually seems to change like the population's like bodily systems. So for example, in day season, day is like it's drenched in let me look at my, it's drenched in light. The moon and darkness really they rarely come out at all, and people take this time to be very meditative, and they become very drowsy. Their bodies become very drowsy, and they sleep for long hours during the day, even though it's very, very light. And it is this like time of great personal growth and discovery. And as there's an announcement that dusk season is coming, people find themselves, their energies return to them, and they find themselves wanting to be close to their fellow man. They become much more tactile all of a sudden. They want to make merry, to make alliances, to create celebration, because that's what that season is all about. Dusk is all about making merry, drinking, being creative, being
love that,
all of that stuff. So it affects your biology.
Season.
It is. It affects your biology, it affects your mind. You are more creative in dusk, you are more productive in dawn, you are more meditative. Everything about yourself changes from season to season. So sorry, I know I'm really going on, but I'm going to keep going just for a second, because you've got a good role. The leaders, each province has a leader, which is I guess the equivalent of a king or a queen, but they are called lords, and the three leaders rule the provinces, and whichever province is in the season. So for example, at the moment, I don't know if Agatha knows this, but it is we know it because we've been listening to the letters sent to Hiraeth, that it is currently dawn season, which makes Hiraeth's mother the proper leader, the Lord Mater. So whoever is the lord of the seasoned governed province is the proper leader of all of that area.
Okay.
Finally, you read a section that talks about how spells were rewritten so that mortals who cast conjuration spells could not just conjure anybody. But there is no information on how it's different.
Okay.
But you are given the information that the Lord Pater at the time felt that the Fae were like at the whim of idiot mortals, and threatened to enslave people, the population, if they didn't change it. So they did. And that's what you get on a filthy 20.
Amazing. Can I ask one other question?
Yes, of course.
I may not find out, or I may. Agatha does want to know all of this stuff, but in the back of her mind is almost like how to protect yourself from the Fae, almost like either accounts of like how to protect yourself, or just like the laws of their land, like the equivalent of like knowing to say parlay to a pirate, like that kind of thing. Like
The thing that is written through a lot of them that you pick up immediately is don't make any agreements, don't make any deals with a fae, don't you're a fucking idiot if you are a fae warlock, because you'll never be free.
Yeah.
And your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will also be locked into contracts.
Okay.
It is their greatest joy is to make a deal and then wiggle around in that deal to make your life difficult. And essentially, as far as protecting yourself from the fae, it feels, I'm going to say this, which might not feel that great. You come out feeling real bad because what you realize, I don't know how much Hiraeth has talked about being clipped. I'm not sure if he even has at all, but I would say on a dirty 20, you would come out understanding that the fae are incredibly strong and like superhuman in comparison to any of the creatures that live in the material plane. It would be the equivalent of their stats, all their stat blocks being maxed out pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So fae is super strong. Hiraeth is probably clipped. For him to
something has happened to Hiraeth to make him more normal.
Yeah. Agatha wouldn't know why. She may just think, oh, that happens because you're in the material plane. Whatever. They're super powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. She gets that. She's a bit bummed, but yeah, she's.
How was that? Do you look really green?
Yeah. You know when you like get in trouble, and you're like, oh, it's bad, and then it's just like, it keeps going on, and it's like, no, it's worse.
No, this is actually not something. Now we are out of the realm of what I've experienced, but we're going to be late for secondary class, so we should go. But come find me. I'll see you at lunch. Will I see you at lunch?
I'm gonna pop down to the Yapany, but like you guys can come with. I need to.
Oh, you're going to go and talk to George and stuff?
Yeah, and let my parents know I'm okay and stuff.
Okay, I'll leave you with your parents because that's probably a thing. But I'll get my lunch in town and we can do the George thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll see you.
What did you say? Town lunch?
It's a market lunch, but yeah.
Market lunch, yeah, market.
It's when you're in the office and someone goes, "Can you go to the market for lunch?" Oh yes, and it's like
Norwich Market. Nikki, I know you're a bit scared of Norwich Market, but Norwich Market does a very good lunch if you can queue.
I've been a couple of times, but yeah, it's like 10 a.m. Someone goes, "Do you want to go to the market for lunch?" And yeah, you're just waiting for 12. You're like, "Oh, these 2 hours can't go quick enough." It's all Santa's going to be thinking about in secondary.
If everyone has done their jingle stuff, we can say that you do your secondary and primary classes. I would like to know if anyone is actually changing, like, let's get the official canon thing. What now is everybody's secondary? Hiraeth, Sunny, I think we know that you've gone monastic.
Do you need a subpart? Yeah, you do.
I do.
Sun Soul.
Sun Soul.
Natch.
Cute. Real fucking cute. Sun Soul monastic, beautiful. Agatha.
Conjuration.
That's so funny because I was also gonna say conjuration.
We're both gonna turn up in the same class,
which is like
juicy.
Oh shit!
Lydia, we might need to roleplay this.
Oh shit!
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm going to do something first though, because you've left Jingle. I feel like you haven't all four of you left all together. No. Because it felt like Hiraeth did that thing, chatted to Dudar, and then possibly left because it was quite a long time. And Hiraeth, as you were walking through the corridors, just got to get the right place. You feel someone walk in step with you, and you hear, Hiraeth, I would like to have a private word with you here, or somewhere else if you wish it to be somewhere else. I won't take a moment. It's Kai. It won't take a moment, or it will take longer if you want it to, but it doesn't need to.
Okay.
He sort of indicates to go into this like little classroom. Agatha informed me last night about your uncle.
Mm.
And I'm so sorry. My ill thought out actions have had a really terrible and lasting impact on you and your family, and I'm just so sorry. Since that day, I have been learning over and over how life in general, but especially life filled with magic, well, everything you do has a potential for disaster and tragedy, and I'm just so incredibly sorry that anyone had to suffer for me to learn that lesson. And if I might just say one more thing, I planned and carried out the taking of a restricted book through wards so that I could read it at my leisure, because I was entitled enough to think I had a right to do so. Agatha's only fault in this is a curious mind and an innate instinct to fulfill her potential. I just hope that you can see that it is me that is front and center of the responsibility of this awful event.
And was just you on your own, without any help, without any other motives that took that book?
Yeah,
Can I insight check that, please?
you can.
At disadvantage, I know. It's a 14 and a 12. I don't actually know what my insight score is. Bear with. Sorry. That's a 4, so 16.
As far as you can see, that he is nothing but honesty. I saw the library's warding as a challenge, and I will never make that mistake again.
No, you won't. I've heard enough. Thank you, Kai.
Like, bows his head briefly and walks away. And you take a second, remember where you're going for your secondary class, and are quite, I mean, you know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you are quite wrapped up in that interaction that's just happened.
Oh, that's just the worst.
It's almost
thing.
annoying, isn't it?
It's just the worst thing that he could have ever said, if I'm entirely honest.
Why?
For himself.
No.
Because Hiraeth has been banking on there being someone else to blame.
Hiraeth was trying to find fault in someone or something else.
He was like this, that it was Henry that helped him.
Honestly, Hiraeth has been trying to think of any other way that it could be anyone else. And that's possibly... It's not good news for Hiraeth. I want that to be clear.
Or Kai, yeah.
Definitely not Kai. I want it to be very clear that was not good news for Hiraeth.
Hiraeth was fully ready to throw down with the master of the library, just in the hope that it was his fault. He's going, oh, no, I can pin it on this dude. This dude's failings, and then he's all like, no.
You're thinking all of this stuff is going to go ahead, and as you file into class, you kind of, your broad shoulders get wedged in with somebody else, and you're doing that negotiation of like, oh god, sorry, we're in this door jam together. And you look, and it is the tiny form of Agatha, both of you trying to get into conjuration together. Agatha, you who have been thinking about how the Fae can snap you like a twig at any moment, look up into the amber gleaming eyes of Hiraeth, who honestly kind of looks like thunder right now.
Yeah, I think Agatha just goes, like, I think she's like, oh, sorry, and she's just gonna go. Like,
Rinse in the other direction.
yeah, she's like, oh, like, she's not even gonna, like, explain, like, in her head she's like thinking, it's wrong classroom, but she doesn't really say anything. She's just like, sorry, and then bounces.
Okay, cool. So, Agatha, do you just skip secondary?
I think so.
I'm sorry, but this is the fucking juicy school angst I have always wanted.
Like, I don't think, like, she was not expecting Hiraeth there. I think she just walks away and then is like, shit, I don't know where I'm going. So yeah, probably just skip secondary. And when she realizes she's skipped, will just maybe sit down somewhere and work on her spells or something.
You know what I didn't expect to happen?
Yeah.
For my character to become the BBEG.
Yeah.
Wow, I did. In
all of this, Sunny knows nothing.
No, Sunny's like, all my friends love each other, have a great time.
We had such a great bonding experience where we rescued Agatha and Pnevma. Like, we're so close right now, guys.
Can I ask, where's Pash?
I mean, you said he won't stay, right?
I mean, you can lock him in the cloister. You can just shut that door.
Or you can like, will he?
Would he have like cried? Like,
you can roll a animal handling to see how that went earlier in the day.
Can I roll an hand to like percept how he felt about being? Because if not, he's coming with me. I'm not punishing a dog.
Yeah. Roll like, insight. It would be insight for sure.
That's fine. Yeah, but like, what I don't want to do is like roll a thing to trap the dog. Like, I would like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. 15.
Okay, with a 15, you kind of pop your hand on his head to sort of indicate to him to sit in the cloister, and then you walk away, and you just see that this dog has no concept that you'll ever come back if you go away.
Yeah, he's been with me the whole time
then. Which sure does make
just some retroactive animal handling
Jingle
checks.
different, but
Well,
never mind.
I assume he didn't come into Jingle.
No, he wouldn't have come into Jingle.
Yeah.
You would have had a brief couple of hours when you were in Jingle where there would have been some whining outside. But yeah, okay, cool.
I will have robbed some like breakfast sausage for him or something.
Some breakfast mango, yeah.
I'm not feeding him mango. I'm not like, he is a carnivore. Like, he needs to eat actual food.
Okay, cool.
Pash is coming with me to monastic.
Pash is going to take a couple of levels in monastic.
Monk, dog, monk, dog, monk, dog. Flurry of
It's
bows.
River's son all over again.
He
Okay.
has a name.
I couldn't remember it.
So you do your secondaries, you do your primaries, and it is clubs,
Clubs.
which is the essentially not sand. So it would have been vintners, it would have been dance, it would have been
So I was weighting it 2-to-1 mounted racing meditation. Like I was going to more mounted racing. And I've done one meditation.
I think it would have been it's mountain racing then, so you can have some time like deciphering what all the stuff that you got.
But obviously I can't race yet, so I'm gonna play with Diller.
But you can go out for a ride, and in fact, Chris will ask your friend, your second year mate with the crag cat, asks to go for a walk.
Yeah. Let's go for a jaunt.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to. Wonderful day for it. And what you kind of discover about what that race, you haven't got absolutely all the details, but Chris points out loosely how the track usually is, and there are several legs of the race. There's the mountain leg, which is sort of coming down from the school. There's then a rocky plain area, a sandy area, like a long grasses area, which is sandy, but the grasses are extremely tough, so it slows you down. And then
he could roll organic, like...
You could. What Chris says is the biggest issue with that is that the grasses can cut you. They're that kind of really nasty little reeds that sometimes that get you a bit like a paper cut as you go by.
In which case, if he's showing me this, can I take a bit of grass, because I want to do some testing against? Yeah. Because my main concern is it cutting Dilla.
That's the same way that Chris talks about it. He had to get special shin pads for the crag cat for that area. And the final
football shin pads.
Yeah. The final leg, which is probably the most fun, goes through the city streets. There's certain city streets that get cleared, and the city people tend to go up onto their rooftops and cheer along. It's like the most fun part of it. You can have as many pit stops as you wish. Obviously it slows you down, but people tend to get their friends involved to help with pit stops because, for example, he wouldn't want his crag cat to have those shin pads the whole way around. He'd only want it for certain things. You can use magic, but you can't use any transportation spells, obviously. You can't have any flying involved. The movement that you do you have to be able to prove that you're connected to the ground. And I won't go into the actual crunch because that's not how conversation works. But you have each year races, and then there's the kind of Grand Prix, which is the winners of each year race, and then the top 3 in each race, so 3 from each year, go to a kind of island to race against Kalak Yolas, which you immediately think is going to be a very different vibe than what they think it's going to be this year, because it's just going to be whipping the arse of a bunch of sad people.
I'm sorry, so it's the mountain climb.
It goes mountain, rocky plain, sandy plain, long grasses, city streets, 5 legs.
Chris, do you think maybe we should pit for each other as well as race in the first legs? Because I'm thinking I actually probably only need to make 3 changes, and I've got 3 friends. But it would be good to assign if maybe one of them doesn't want to do it or something.
I'd love it.
Just because I'm pretty good with animals, and I could probably take those shin pads off lickety split. Ain't that right, Mr. Mistopheles?
Yeah, Mistopheles is his name.
That was it. Yeah, I'm not crazy.
Mephistopheles is his name.
Yeah.
Not, yeah. I'd love that because one of the people that used to pit for me is dead now, so that would
rough, yeah.
work well. And that would be great. That'd be. I'm going to tell you now. I don't tend to win. I really love racing, but I don't tend to win, and we don't mind. We're in it for the fun of it. I'm not that.
Can I tell you something my dad always says? You know, like he runs for context. He runs a casino. I just think that might help. But like, you know, it's chance and luck. Like is always perceived as this like 1 in a million thing. But it's actually just having like a little bit of like an edge, and being lucky is just about taking all the chances you get. So maybe this is your year, mate.
It could be. Sometimes, you know, what I'll say is this. Last year, people offered to pay me to sabotage other people. So there's quite a lot of dirty business that happens.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't. But I won't say that I didn't play dirty to people that I felt deserved it.
I mean, that's.
But I did it for free.
That's you know, at a certain point, all you've got is your morals. So you know, if they're your principles, then like that's grand. I won't be doing none of that. I mean, like I might kick a.
I mean, I would say that a lot of the race is the tactics you do along the way. Some of that is about sabotaging other people. Some of it is about manipulating the terrain in front of you or altering gear. You know, I would lean into magic as much, you know, everybody will be. You don't have to if you don't want to, but people do.
Me, I've got magic coming up my wazoo. I didn't even really understand how it
Oh,
works.
Lord. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not literally, though.
Wait, that's not where you actually spell.
No, it comes out of this, my medallion.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That is good to know because it does change optics. I do love these rides. Thank you. As you're like climbing up to the stables again on this warm day. I will say actually this isn't fair because clubs is after lunch, so we will say that this.
Well, that happens after whatever, because
I've got my schedule is all out of whack. All right.
Does Hiraeth come to the city?
No.
Where's Hiraeth?
He's just drinking, like sucking on the hot sauce.
I think Hiraeth probably just eats in the cafeteria in the sort of main hall.
Well, Sunny will have come there first because Sunny doesn't actually know about their going to town plan. That was just Nikki getting excited about the idea of going to the market for lunch, which I'm now going to do tomorrow because it's in my head.
Pnevma would have come.
I'll see you there.
She would have she would have realised that you guys didn't know, so she would have popped in and gone, we're going to market, and to tell George.
I think I'm happy here today.
Yeah,
I think I give Pnevma a look that I'm fairly sure she would take almost instantaneously.
Have you ever had any market food though? Like people market, not people market food, but like this world's market food, like street food and whatnot.
I can't say I have.
It's like got more flavour than the food at the school does.
Sonny, you and I are going to walk into town and I'm going to tell you a story. And it will give you a new perspective on some things. Hiraeth, I hope you don't mind, but I think we need to put him out of his misery. Huh?
I think that's okay.
Sally covered Pash's ears. What do you mean?
It's gonna be okay. Let's go. And she pats you affectionately on the shoulder, Hiraeth, and links arms with Sunny, and they walk into town together. And Sunny, everything is explained to you.
I think Sunny's first thing is like, so what's going on? Because everyone's been really fucking weird.
Let me tell you. Oh my god. And she tells it, you know, obviously she's very fond of both of them. She sees that it's shitty every which way you look at it. So you get a fairly neutral, you're not getting a like, well, she's a bitch, or anything like that. So by the time, and Agatha, I'd imagine, do you go to the Appenny first?
Yeah, so I think I think she actually probably goes earlier than normal, because if she's skipping secondary, there was secondary and then
secondary,
primary.
then primary. But if you're making a proper like beeline for it, you would have missed out that whole conversation.
I think she's just going straight to the apnea because she wants to get out of this outfit. She's feeling so self-conscious. She's like, God, I need to go. Yeah, she's just like, God, what am I wearing?
Mel's gonna be livid.
You get to the apnea, and in fact,
can I take a breath before I go in? I'm just like, oh shit.
When you walk in, it's pretty empty. There's like one or two people sort of having a lunchtime drink, and you see your mum wiping down some tables. One moment, I'm in completely the wrong part of my... you see your mum is like wiping down the tables, and she looks up and she goes, Agatha! Oh my God. She like takes a second looking at what you're wearing and then goes, we were so worried. What did I tell you about you putting yourself in danger? And she like pulls you in for a hug. Like you just feel that wet rag on the back of your neck as she holds you in really like tight. You have got me so worried. I think I've got even more wrinkles. Hey! And Pete comes out from behind the... from like the office area and doesn't really say anything, just walks up, and the three of you just hug together in the pub, and your mum peels off and he just like clamps on tight and sort of doesn't say anything.
I don't think Agatha really says much. Like when her mum is talking to her, she's like starting to say stuff, and then when her dad hugs her, she's just like,
if you could talk over Tracy. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. She just lets her, she's like, she's gonna do her thing, and then it's just kind of silence as like Agatha just sobs into her dad's chest, essentially.
And he like, he goes from holding you in that way that is just like clutching, then that hug changes and he's like rubbing your back and comforting you, and by the time you pull away, your mum has put down a plate with a huge like baguette sandwich that's got like beef and peanut sauce and tomatoes, and there's a big juice next to it, and you sit down and start eating your lunch, and she's there, but she's having to like, she's the one person that's really doing the lunchtime shift, and but your dad is like, well, come on then, tell it from the beginning, probably done this already, but talk to me about it.
All right.
Do you tell a version that is easier for a parent to hear, or do you just tell him everything?
I think it's an easier for a parent thing. It's, she's not quite so reckless in this story. She frames it as much more like, she's like, Hiraeth was there, and like Sunny was there, and even Kai came, like, kind of like, I was fine, even though she didn't feel fine. So she tells it like the PG version, I guess, and then I came out and they were just sleeping. And yeah, she focuses more on that story.
He's so proud of you. I thought, is this what your life is going to be like now, my love? Are you going to be a hero?
I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me like I did a good thing, and
But are you going to? Are you just going to have to flip a coin and see if you die every time you want to do a good thing for someone?
I don't know. I don't want it to be like that, I wanted like a plan, and I wanted, I'm hoping I'll get better at it. I feel like there was a lot of luck and a lot of saving. you know, I don't really want to be that reckless anymore. I don't know,
Windows, you know what I mean? Like,
I just felt like with everything that happened, you know, I thought if I can save her, then it'll all be worth it, you know?
I think you're right. I think it was worth it, but there's no one more precious in the world than my little girl. I take, you know, you just got to remember how precious you are. Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. I just, I don't know. I feel like, what was it they say? Like, maybe don't quit your day job. Maybe I shouldn't have quit my day job.
Don't say that. Tracy won't hear you. No, you did the right thing. You did the right thing for sure. But, you know, maybe if there's a class up there that teaches you how to not die as much, maybe take that class as well.
Yeah.
Don't know how these things work, but if they can teach you about staying alive as well, that would be great.
I really don't want to worry you. Like,
well, you know, I mean, it's been a big old roller coaster since that night. We've just been sort of solidly worried since then, but
I am sorry about that. Like, you know, I didn't.
Listen, I don't really talk to Tracy about this very much, but I always knew you couldn't just run this place. You know, I was doing taxes at 9, my love.
I just like doing the numbers, you know?
Yeah. It's not normal, though, is it? You know, it's not a normal mind that works that stuff out.
I don't think there's anything normal about this family, really.
Nah.
You stick blueberries in mead.
I do. I tell you what, it's the colours coming on. Something about lemon, yeah? It's like the zest rather than... I mean, you've got your thing, I've got mine. It's a bit different, but I'll stick with my lemons. I think, you know, I don't know that I can do the woobly wobbly, you know. You stick with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a good go, Dad, and like, you know, if...
I'm so proud of you already.
Thanks.
Have you told George yet?
No, I can't.
Relax. Get that beef down, yeah, and go and tell George. He'll be busting.
All right. I will. I just.
Oh wait. Mel, she's still asleep. You've had a full day. Mel's still sleeping up there.
Wait, how? Like, is she like?
She doesn't like to close, that's for sure, does she? She doesn't like a late night.
No, she's like. I don't think she likes work at all. If I'm honest, she doesn't get the satisfaction we get from it.
Yeah, but you know what? When she plays that harp. That is pretty.
I know, she is really good at it. I don't tell her because, you know, her head's quite big already, but...
She tells herself. That's what I always think. She tells herself so we don't have to.
She knows. But I am just going to grab some cloves.
I wasn't going to say anything. It's not my place. I wasn't going to say anything.
Like in that story, it's fine. It's just my shirt got ripped a little bit and then, like, that's the only... out. I don't know why I went to school with only one outfit, to be fair. That's like a bit silly on my behalf. But I might just take a look in Mel's wardrobe.
Oh, you're brave. Oh, I'll stay down here. I've suddenly got a lot of accounts to do. Blimey, all right.
All right, I'm gonna like give him another hug, goodbye, and a hug my mum.
Kisses on the top of the head, and
I'm planning to grab some stuff of mine and then a quick like grab of like 3 of Mel's dresses and then leg it.
Let's have that stealth check.
Oh god. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a 17.
Oh.
Yeah, you into her room. She is starfished out on the bed in her little like nightie, looking frankly prettier than anyone deserves to be.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
And you don't even really look at what they are. You just take like 3 things and walk out. And you hear a gentle snore that like gets disrupted as you close the door behind you, but you think you're fine. And you're off with this bundle in your arms.
Yes.
And I think you guys you've like picked up some market food, and you meet up to go to say the word, right?
Can I also get a like something from the market?
Sorry, cat business.
Relax.
It's that time in the evening, Fanny.
Oh, Fanny. The old gent wants attention.
They're all so people talk about cats being so agile. Both these cats are so fucking clumsy, it's unreal. He's desperate to get up and sit where Malloy is, and Malloy's absolutely loving lording it over him, and he just keeps knocking stuff off and scaring himself. Anyway. Well, no one listens to me. I've got no authority over them.
Or us.
Or you. What were you saying that you were going to do?
I was just going to grab some food for Hiraeth and specifically ask for it to be very spicy.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I have it like extra greasy and extra spicy, please?
Mark off, unless you particularly want to barter.
I'll get everyone's lunch.
2 silver pieces for 3 people's lunch, because
Agatha had a
beef satay.
A
I've
on
eaten.
me.
Yeah. Got to get rid of them peanuts somehow.
Peanuts in everything.
Cool. You walk to the bookshop, and stepping in, you see George perched on a stool. His knee is like violently bouncing with anxiety, and his head is in his hands. And as you approach, he looks up and goes, "Oh, thank God, you're all right. Please tell me what happened. I heard stuff went down. I was so worried." Stands up and starts like treading on the spot to hear the story.
George, we found her.
She's all right.
We took her to the sand last night. But if you want to come with me, we can maybe go see her.
Oh God. All of you did this?
Yeah, actually, like, these guys were really great. Like, I was a bit reckless, but like Pnevma jumped straight in there with me, and Sunny came and like got us out and stuff.
And
Hiraeth came and helped as well. And
he's the one that smashed a mirror that you was trapped in.
Yeah, he got us out.
George like puts his like arm around your shoulder and grabs hold of Sunny's like forearm, and just the tears are like streaming down his face, and he's just like, "Oh God, thank you. You did it. Like, you were the only people who really listened and really believed me, and you saved Francesca. You saved her when everybody else had forgotten about her. You're heroes. You're real heroes. Agatha, you're a real hero."
Oh, no, like, I just jumped in a window.
25 years, no one managed to do this. I've been telling people for 25 years, no one believed me, but you did.
Yeah. We did it, George. We, like, all of us, like I said, it was us, Hiraeth, like, some other students helped out as well. Like, it was a group effort, but...
It's Agatha's idea, though. Like, she was the one that really motivated it.
Well,
You know?
I kind of put myself in danger, so they had to come find me.
She was the horse to the cart, as it was. You know?
He's sort of, you can tell he's going into like shock, and his body is just starting to shake. He's going,
can
we go and see her now? Are we allowed? Like,
first, wait. And I'm gonna pull out a hip flask. I've got some of my dad's special. I'm like, have a sip of this. A sip, George.
He takes a sip. He's being very like controlled about making sure he only takes a sip, and then he goes, I know if I just want to see where she is. If it's not today that I'm allowed to see her, I just want to see what I can do to help. Like, let me get the keys. And he starts like locking up the shop.
Yeah, we can go now. Like,
Oh, sorry, George. Just sort of while we're doing this, have you got like some parchment and some ink?
Oh God, not now. I'll get it later. Can I get it later?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, fine.
I'll get it for you, son.
No, it was less of like a
unlocks, goes back in and picks up some stuff. Here you go. You can pay me later for it.
I wasn't trying to buy nothing. I just wanted to borrow a bit of parchment so I could say, don't worry about it.
He like hoofs it back through the letterbox. Right, let's go. And he just takes off running through the streets.
So he's just gonna look at everyone and say, everyone's so on edge, so mad.
You just kind of hear like strangled sobs coming from him as he's running ahead. Like he's like, this is a...
Don't run and cry, you'll choke.
It's like a 50-year-old man who drinks too much and doesn't exercise, sprinting and like choking on his own crying as he goes ahead of you in the street.
George, you need to breathe, okay? You need to like take like there's no rush.
I just can't believe I'm gonna see her after all this time.
There's no rush, but George, I do want to warn you. She's not gonna look the same, yeah? Just prepare yourself. It's not great. We got her out and she's gonna be okay, but if you die right now, it's gonna really just be a bummer on the whole situation.
Okay, tell me what I need to. What I don't want to look at her and like gasp. I don't want to make her feel like I'm shocked. So just tell me what I'm gonna look at when I see her.
All right.
Sonny holds up Bash as in his mind as like an example of like.
That's not her, but like Pash was with kept in the same room.
You sort of like in this situation.
And I'm not gonna say it all, but I'm gonna give him like the brutal like she's extremely malnourished and like all of.
Are you sober?
Well, other than that sip, yeah.
Okay, right, it's fine. Because if you weren't, I was just gonna sort of help you get sober before you got there. Cause,
that's kind. No, I am trying to do the nothing till at least 2.
No, not November. Yeah.
What? Okay.
Can't have no of nothing until November.
I don't know what November is, so I'm just going to keep running.
It's a place.
Yeah.
It's like a run that people do.
Oh god. Do you guys want to get Hiraeth and see if he wants to come too? I feel like
I can go get him.
he should at least. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go find him.
He does sand, so he might. I'm wondering if this
It'll
is
be
going to
advanced, won't he? It's clubs time.
Oh yeah. Do you guys?
Oh
need
shit!
to
I need to go to my club.
Yeah, if you guys
Shit!
need to
It's
go.
already happened, so I can't even not stay here because I've got a retcon.
Shit!
Bye.
I'm currently talking. I'm currently elsewhere. I can't be in this scene.
just fades away.
Sees himself walking down the street on his Marmo and suddenly gets a nosebleed.
We've all been in a we haven't, but
when
we've
you
all
said-
been in a play and had that moment of going like
I'm meant to be on the left.
like being backstage and having that kind of
That's my cue.
shit, that's my cue line. Oh my god, it's that.
When you said that old Drunk George was running, you know when kids are crying and running and they like breathe in all their snot and tears and they
God.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the relevant people peel off. I think Pnevma's going to sack off her club to kind of be there.
What is it?
And well, she does gymnastics. The other one that she does, she just recently swapped it and she now does makeup artistry.
Cute.
She's going to pull up Peter Malark and be like, I'm a baker, but look at all this.
Yeah, I'm a tree. Just give me 3 hours and I will be a log. You head through, George has never been here before. There's a little bit of like signing him in at the office, which like what with him like sobbing and stuff is really like not, it's just an awkward thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to be as on it as possible with everything, like.
But you're sort of said that for today he's like your visitor, and then in the future Al-Qaeda will have to make him an official visitor that gets like a pass, and he can like organize visits.
That's what it looked like. Oh god.
So you go to Sam.
Yes.
And you find, you are able to go straight through and meet Al-Qaeda, who is at her room.
Yeah.
And Al-Qaeda talks you through. Essentially, they haven't fully finished the assessment, but they are. They realize it's going to be a very long road, but she is not a lost cause, which she could have easily been. 25 years of torture.
Yeah.
And she is not ready for visitors at all.
Okay.
But that is not to say, he is going to now liaise with George so that George can be a regular visitor.
Okay.
And there's just sort of a lot of admin conversation that happens.
So have you signed up to our rewards program?
Yeah, I think Agatha just wants to get it so George is in a position where he knows he can come here and see her, and Master Al-Qaeda knows who George is, and
yes, that happens fairly quickly where you feel like you could leave them two talking, because Al-Qaeda is like, George is talking very directly to him about when he does come to visit, how long can he visit for, what kind of things should he bring. He'd like to be able to come and like read to her essentially for hours, so that he becomes like a constant for her. And Al-Qaeda is thinking that might work really well because it's someone from before that she felt she could trust before. Al-Qaeda does gently say to you that perhaps you are not somebody who should be a regular visitor for her, because you cast a harmful spell on her, and it will take a long time for her to it's just easier for her recovery to not have to
completely fine with that. I get it. I won't even come, like, unless she requests it.
Cool.
And then I'll go see Fida, probably.
Cool. You go to Fida. Fida is on the same floor essentially, and her room is really easy to find. It's one of the few ones that has a glass front and a glass door and all of that kind of stuff. And Fida immediately kind of goes, "Oh, I wouldn't come too close. I'm actually having a bad day today."
That sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't sleep very well. I don't know if it's that, but I wouldn't want you to get hurt. So I'll just I'll stay back here. And she just sort of is on the bed and not near the front. Did you get my things? It's really nice to see you, by the way.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I did. Here, I know you can't come close, but we can still chat.
If you put it in the hatch, I'll grab it from the hatch.
I'll put them in the hatch and just explain, like, they're your books and like.
Oh, thanks. Have you ever read this series? She's like showing this like book, which is like the fourth in a series of 7 like romance novels kind of thing. Have you ever read these? They're quite fun. They're not brilliantly read, but they're quite fun.
No, I've not, like, you know what? I've not really, like, I like reading, but like maybe I'll.
You've never read a novel? You've never read a novel?
Not really. I enjoyed doing taxes when I was 9, so I didn't really read.
Agatha reads those like kids' encyclopedias.
Yeah, 100%. She read books, but they were all like,
non-fiction.
Oh gosh,
non-fiction. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you ever wanted to read a novel, I could have a couple of recommendations. But I realize I remember what the workload was like in the first year. So
yeah, it's quite a lot. I feel like I'm drowning already with it. Like,
yeah. I mean, try and enjoy it.
yeah.
I just have such fond memories of it all. It was hard work, but every moment felt like so potent, so like I always knew that I'd never get these experiences ever again, and
Yeah.
I'm only sad that I never got to do second and third year.
Yeah. No, thanks for telling me that, because I think I've been like worrying about a lot of things, and I actually think I should just maybe just enjoy my time here and get as much out of it as I can.
Do you like magic?
I love it. I don't really tell people though. I don't know why I just told you now. Like, I act like I don't really care, but I actually really love it. I think it's really
so
cool.
good though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it comes with so much danger, so much risk. You have the power to do wonderful but terrible things, but it's so good.
And it's so like understanding it, like trying to work out how it works is like magic itself.
I mean, I did a little less of that because sorcery, but
Yeah,
I did do a little. I was always curious, but I sort of less so. But yeah, I see that, and you're in exactly the right place to get every drop out of it.
Yeah. Kind of off topic, and if we're gonna sit here for a while, Agatha will tell like the brief story of like what happened yesterday, like the
She
rescue.
eats it up like she's reading the best novel ever.
And like, please don't think this is me asking this of you, of like a free thing or whatever. But I know you're like thinking about like getting into dressmaking and stuff and like sewing and stuff. And I have one really nice shirt and I ripped it, and I was like, if you wanted to have a go on it to like try and fix it, if you don't fix it, it doesn't really matter because it's ruined anyway. But like, I thought it might be a fun like project practice thing.
Absolutely. Do you have materials?
Yeah, I have it. Like, I have the shirt and stuff here, but I can like bring in some thread and stuff.
No one ever. I never get this. It's always just like, do I fancy making yet another crocheted octopus?
That's cool.
She picks out boxes.
Actually, I changed my mind. Forget the shirt.
Yeah, can I have one of them?
5 like long spiraled crocheted octopi tumble out into the bed. So many. Quite bored of it. If anyone wants a crocheted octopus,
Is it one of the ones where you turn it inside out when you're upset? Hiraeth just
it
does
isn't,
that.
but it's sort of frighteningly anatomically correct.
That's quite impressive, I have to say. I reckon you could like sell them and make a bit of money,
Crochet a beak.
Master Al-Qaedi says that there is ethical considerations to residents making money. I get a very healthy allowance, so I don't need anyone to buy anything off me. But I would love to. Would you like any embellishments? I do quite good embroidery.
I mean, I have fun with it. What do you like? Nothing too wild. Like this I'm wearing now is my friend's, and it's not really my style. Oh, sorry.
Pnevma's just like leaning up against the glass, going, "Hey."
Oh yeah, this is Neva. I'm so sorry, Neva. Like, I would have introduced Neva. I forgot she was there. I thought she went.
Yes, I mean, I can kind of see that it's you look a bit more like her since last time.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Oh.
Absolutely love to. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, thanks, Spider.
My absolute pleasure.
If do you need me to get anything else for you? Like, I'll come visit tomorrow when I'm
No,
actually
she
maybe
sort of
here.
looks through her boxes. I've got lots of the right coloured thread and needles and stuff like that here. If you want anything different done in the future, we can talk about getting materials then. But this is great.
Right.
Thank you. He sort of takes the stuff and starts like laying it out and looking at it and at the tear.
Cool. All right. Well, we're probably gonna go because it's time for something probably.
Always is.
Yeah.
Her hair is like this whole time. Her hair has all been lifting up off her, like white hair has been lifting up off her head, and she's got that thing in this glass room that's a bit like, you know, those 80s. My dad used to buy me them every time he went to New York. That are like the like electricity. That
Oh, you
Plasma
touch
balls.
it. You touch it, and they, yeah.
Yeah. She's been a bit like that, like these like lightning is sort of pulling off her and touching the edges of her glass room and like clinging to the things in her room and then moving around. It's a really odd sight, but it's because she's having a bad day.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Agatha's trying to just treat her the same, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
she's just like, okay, bad day. Let's just.
I mean, Pnevma's like very quiet when you leave because she hasn't experienced the sand before, and she's like,
Oh God, sorry.
hadn't really realized that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
The
It's.
poor woman is going, that's her whole life now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Sorry, that really bummed you out, didn't it?
No, I mean, I'm glad that I know I can see why they don't do tours for everybody just to traipse through, because it's not a zoo, but in many ways it would be good for everybody to see, because maybe they would be slightly less like pigs.
Yeah. But. You know.
Anyway,
I just wanted to say one thing, actually. I feel like in everything, I've not, like, really said thanks to you for, like, just sort of jumping in with me, essentially.
well, of course, I will always jump in and do, but maybe don't jump next time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Are you scared of Hiraeth now?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I'm just gonna try and not get in his way and hope that. I don't really know how to fix this. I don't think there is any fixing it, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that, like, make things a bit awkward for you and Sunny, but I really don't want to make things awkward either. Like, if you guys want to hang out and Hiraeth doesn't want me there, like, don't feel bad about just being like, hey Agatha, can you not? Because like, I can go read and stuff.
It's funny, you know, because we've known each other 5 days, 6 days. And Hiraeth was like this really suave guy, and now he feels like a tarantula or something. And I don't know which is the real Hiraeth anymore. I like him so much, but he, you know, Amber is telling everybody who will listen that they fucked a lot.
Oh.
And that was when we were in the mirror.
But he said he came back straight away. And I believe him. Never.
Yeah.
And look, I think he can be a really suave guy and the tarantula.
That's true. That is true. Miss Philos has got her work cut out if she's gonna make us fight like a group, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, you know, I'm I got a box through from my mom the other day, and it had things in it, and I just, in like a weak moment, I wrote a letter and said that she had to come and visit me because I didn't. And now I'm really glad that I wrote that. But she's so busy and she has a job, but I really just want to see her really badly.
Will a hug help?
Yeah, of course it will.
Okay, I hug her, and I'm like, I know it's not the same, but like, my mum and dad are like pretty cool. Like, my dad gives really good hugs, so like,
yeah,
it's not the same, but they're a little bit closer.
Thank you.
I'm sure your mum is like really proud of you though. Like, you're like smashing it. Like, it's a bit annoying actually how well you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, all of the school stuff is like cool and everything, but there's so many people here, and I'm just really used to just being mum and me, Hey, by the way, mum sent me a bunch of stuff because her boss gives her like so many gifts all the time.
Right, yeah.
Some of the stuff that she gave me is like not my vibe at all, but I wondered if you wanted it. And she like pulls out, I can't work out where the fuck you are right now, but if you're back at the cloister.
Let's say we're back at the cloister. We've got
she gives you like a set of like cut off gloves, like lace, like short cut off gloves. They're like, I can't wear that.
I mean, I kind of like them, right? Hear me out, because they're not quite you, but they're like not quite me, but they're sort of in between you and me.
Yeah. Also these, and she like dumps a whole load of lacy underwear onto your bed.
Oh.
You
don't wear these? Like,
I mean, no, not really.
Can I inside check? I don't need to. Agatha knows she's trying to do a nice thing. Oh, all right.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna take a couple of days to not drink alcohol, but at some point, I'd really like to talk to you about Kai or stuff like that. I don't know. You looked really sad at points today, and I know that that's not just all the Hiraeth stuff.
Yeah. Let's say, what do you call? Oh, the puppies. We'll talk about puppies another time.
Yeah.
Okay.
The puppies. Yeah.
The puppies,
yeah.
I'd like that though, thanks.
She like lights up a cigarette and swigs from her trusty flask that she always has by her side, and Sunny, when you get back from your ride, there is a little note waiting for you in your cloister that is summoning you to dine with your parents this evening. You and your friends if you want to, but it is basically an invitation before they leave to dine.
When Sonny sees this note, he's going to go, I was going to write them a letter with that pen and ink that I didn't. Oh, no one's here. But, like, everything just goes so well for Sonny. Like, it's just so great. I was going to write a letter, now I didn't even have to bother. Is Hiraeth around? Because obviously, like Sonny's intuited that there's, like, weird vibes, but it's not Sonny's place to go that, and then he knows, and he knows that you know he knows, and he also knows that you've been by yourself. So is Hiraeth around?
To be fair, I was gonna parting the kimono slightly. I was gonna ask about the sort of crate of goods that had been left at some point. Yeah. So this can be like before or after or whatever. But like,
yeah, okay.
My that was kind of my intention, was to go back to the cloister to sort of like look through some of the bits.
Can I come in while you're unpacking the boxes?
Yeah, what I'll do is just before you speak to him, Nikki,
the only reason I say that is I like the vibe for this conversation of Sonny like sat on a bureau while Hiraeth's like unpacking while they talk.
Yeah.
I will purely just give Hiraeth the list of what's in that box, what in the crates. So you have 12 glasses of bottled water that's from the Dawn Province Agvi Estate Spring.
Is it sparkling?
You don't know. 12 bottles of fairy wine. Well, 11 now, because you've been drinking one solid today. 3 thick packs of paper wrapped tani. That is a lot of sticks. Like there's like 48, 50 sticks of tani in each pack. So you've got lots.
That's like a commercial box of like.
If you open it the right way,
Swedish
it does
fish.
the little standee that you put in a corner shop.
Yeah.
A jar of pink looking loose liquid that is called Berol, and you know this to be something that you like to consume. It is the roe of a water creature, and it is essentially, think Terra Salata but loose.
Stop saying loose.
It upsets me too, that's why I say it. Obviously Gerald was in there, he's on the shelf.
Yep.
A glass ornament of the Lord Mater Agvi that was made on her 50th cycle in her seat, which is a little odd because it's a bit like being sent a plate of Prince Charles and Princess Diana.
But if they're your mum.
When you are William.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a piece of paper. And on the piece of paper, there is a list. It says, I will WhatsApp this to you as well, Tom, so don't
Thank
feel
you.
like you've got to madly spell everything out.
I'm just gonna leave it then.
Ginny Sands, human female from Delin. Samuel LaCrew even, half-elf from Maldawning. Cynthia Smithin, gnome female from Portazuma. Declan Mythinmore, human male from Grand Pili. Talvin Tapatap, male dwarf from Raw, deceased in transit. And there is the rest of the crates are fresh clothes and jewelry, and I would add the clothes don't really fit you because you're now clipped and a little shorter and a little slighter, and they didn't take that into account when they raided your wardrobes.
Yeah.
But they can be easily adjusted.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and
sorry.
Sonny's knocking on your door.
Oh.
No
Come
time
in.
to react to any of that. As you go in, Sonny, he's like holding this pink liquid and some clothes, and he's, all of that stuff has not really been packed back away. You're still kind of going through it.
You're right.
I'm okay.
It just so you obviously I know now, and
I do.
and I also know now. So I just
You do.
I maybe just wanted to see how he was doing, because I like to talk about most things, but especially when something big happens, and this feels a bit. How are you doing? Are you alright?
I am processing it in the way that we are taught in the Feywild.
Would you rather just talk about something else at the moment? Because that's okay. We can talk about what you got up to before you got here and stuff. There's stuff you like to do for fun, but it maybe feels like, even though it's only been a day, it feels like it's maybe been a lonely day for you.
It's been a day full of deep regret, Sonny. But I hope to fix it.
like, what is it you're regretting? It's okay. We don't have to speak about this. We can speak about someone else. But like, I mostly just wanted you to know that like I'm about. You know, like just sort of like.
I know.
I'm sort of always there. I know it's sort of like a good. It's not. It might feel like it's a bit of a good vibes only situation, but you know, sometimes the vibes aren't immaculate, and that's okay too.
I'm just sad, Sonny. I'll be entirely open. I'm sad. I wish some of the things that I said to Agatha were uncalled for. She didn't deserve. She doesn't deserve any of my anger. And I showed her a lot of it. And I hope she's okay.
My dad always says words are a bit like farts. Like, you can't put them back in, but they go away over time.
That is potently wise.
Also, speaking of farts, I got you some food from the market. Not speaking of farts because, like, it's going to make you fart.
I was about to say, that sounds...
It might, but, like, no, just... So, sorry, just because... Basically, Hiraeth, the vibe I'm getting is, like, you know... talking about specifics ain't going to help no one. But, like, I don't just want to, like, brush over it because it's okay to feel sad. But, like... It's okay, like... Being sad's okay, but like feeling alone ain't, because you're not. Because like we're all here, and like I don't think, like I was speaking to Pnevma, and she's doing her cool stuff, and like you know doing all that stuff, and like I don't think she hates you. Agatha don't think she hates you, and like I definitely don't, because like I've just sort of been like away from it all and like not involved in any way, and I just want you to know that like you're not like. I'm not trying to like co-opt your like feelings or whatnot, but I just want you to know that I'm about, and like if you wanted to talk about that, or if you wanted to talk about like just sort of like nothing, sometimes you just want to talk about nothing.
Yeah,
we could do that.
Yeah.
Have you got some fancy new clothes in those boxes?
I do. They don't fit me anymore.
Oh, that's a shame, because my parents have invited me and my friends to dinner, and I just wanted to know if you all wanted to go. Only if it's not going to be weird, because I will extend the invitation to all of like the three of you.
Do they like wine?
My parents, my mum loves wine. It's actually just sort of. I was going to say it's her favourite, but that feels a bit disingenuous, because like she sort of vibes with like whatever's going. So
I would be delighted to meet your parents, Sonny.
That's
again?
Great.
No, not again.
No, you might have seen her, because like when my mum got out of the carriage, it was a bit of like a standstill and stuff. Also, I think it might be good to speak to them, because like I might be in some legal trouble for headbutting that bloke. But
yeah, sure.
I will say this, Hiraeth. If any bloke tries to blast you, I'm more than willing to nut him.
Oh, Sonny. That was. I think, yeah. Hiraeth just kind of like chuckles to himself and just goes, "Thank you, thank you."
Would you mind if I cast a little spell on you?
Sure.
I just wanted to ask. Sonny's going to cost lesser restoration. It doesn't get rid of your exhaustion, but his hope is that like it would just make you feel a bit better. It's like It's like
A little pick
drinking.
me up.
It's like drinking hot soup when you don't feel well. Like it doesn't actually make you feel better, but like it's the good vibes. So yeah,
He's cute.
It's got a nourishing feel to it.
I think I sort of stand up and just like look down at you and kind of smile and say, "Can I hug you?"
yeah, of course. Like I hug loads of people.
And I give you a big old hug, and just sort of say, "Thank you."
No,
Means a
no,
lot.
honestly, anytime, me and Pash will be there. You know, whatever you need.
Well,
Oh, I need
Likewise.
I need to find someone to look after Pash when we go to dinner.
can he not come?
No, probably not, because if we're gonna go to a restaurant, he's probably gonna steal some people's food and like. Also, my dad is like. He's got like a really good reputation about and stuff, and I just don't want to like. He's not that he'll get married or nothing, but I just don't want to like sully his reputation. You know, he does a lot of traveling to like meet politicians and people from councils and stuff to try and like, you know, make sure everyone's, you know, like. I suppose it's a bit like you coming here. You know, it's just sort of like a diplomatic hey ho.
Diplomatic hey ho. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
It's- yeah. Okay.
I got a feeling that Sonny is going to be the new Lord Pater of the Dawn Province in no time.
Hell yeah.
As I say, I'd be absolutely delighted.
That sound like that's so good. I'm gonna go and ask Bing Bong if like they'll look after Pash while we're out for dinner. And then I suppose I'll leave you to finish packing away your various goos.
Thank you.
Wait,
Goose.
try the food I got you. I asked for it extra spicy and extra greasy.
Oh.
It's a Gempata, you know, the I think that's what we called it, wasn't it? And it's better than the cafeteria food. You immediately want to pour some of Udon's sauce, drink, condiment paste on it, which does in fact make it even better. Bing Bong is very keen to look after the dog for the evening and has a drawer of dried meats that seems that she would be happy to feed the dog, and asks if you want her to take him for a walk as well.
No, look, honestly, like that would be lovely, but like don't put yourself out or nothing.
That dog is gonna be terrified walking next to Bing Bong. Just
She's not going to go
symbols
out with
clashing.
the whole sit or get her upon, is
Have
she?
you met Bing Bong?
And I'll just before if Bing Bong goes to take Pash for a walk, I'll cast Bless on Bing Bong
Oh yeah,
just to
yeah,
make
yeah,
the evening go a little bit smoother. Just
Yeah.
like a
yeah.
yeah.
You kind of you do that, and it's almost like she sort of jumps at the feeling of it and immediately goes "Ah!" and gives you a bardic inspiration. It's like
Oh
our
my
reaction.
nose! You're going right on my nose.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I just I don't know. I
Oh
just
my god! I've got to go to
I don't know how
dinner
to do
later.
them in a way that you could do later, but have it now anyway. Sorry, sometimes like when I've got the contraptions and stuff on, I have to really reach for people to give them a bit of bardic, and
It's okay.
but then
Look,
there you
look.
were. Sorry.
It's no, it's fine. I'm a cleric, so I can just sort of like make it go away, I suppose. You know, like
Right.
just sort of chilling. Look, Bing Bong. I appreciate it. You know, and I hope you have a nice evening. And thank you very much for looking after Pash.
Oh, thank you. I like to look after dogs. We got a long road getting this one. Can I give her a bath? I feel like we could get some of this scabby stuff off.
Look, honestly, like you go crazy. You know, you just sort of like let yourself. You know, do whatever feels right. You know, just
Brilliant.
I don't know if this is Pash's, you know, like final home or whatnot, but like I just want, you know, their time with us to be nice.
Yeah,
You know, I think everyone
We can
deserves
do
a nice
that, yeah.
time every now and again.
yeah.
Bing Bong's gonna end up making Pash a one-man band suit for the dog.
Sick. One dog band.
Have a nice dinner, yeah?
I will try. You know, like I can't. It's my parents. They're lovely, so you know, like I can't imagine it being a bad time. It might be helpful for them to know the sort of like potential legal troubles that me and us are all in. But like, mostly because I imagine that Jerome bloke's gonna be a dick about me headbutting him. But you know.
I don't think he's in any position really to kind of talk about that.
But like he might be like, if I'm going down,
He
I'm
can
dragging
fucking
you
try.
with me. You know, like the plays.
You can try. You know, it's probably quite a good time to say. It's not tomorrow, but the next day. Pluto and I are going to be going for a few days. We got like a couple of things that we need to look after. After you know, after the kind of
Bing bong.
what?
Are you running away?
No, I wouldn't. I love it here, but
Oh,
we're
okay.
it's like repercussions, some stuff we did last year.
Okay, no,
And,
that's fine. Is there anything I can do to help?
No, I don't think so. But just, you know, it's just in case you get into any scrapes, you know, like let's get our mentors and then we're not there and Pluto can't kill a bunch of people for you.
I'm going to be honest. I reckon Hiraeth would have had both of them if Pluto weren't there.
Probably would.
You see how big that stick he's got?
As glaive, yeah, it's a big stick,
It's
yeah.
so big and it's sharp
you-
at the end.
I don't want to like put our boys to the like compete against each other. Have you ever seen the look in Pluto's eye when he kills somebody?
Try not to look him in the face.
Why? Because he's too handsome? Why?
No, it's just sort of like looking at porridge, isn't it?
Oh, right. I never really thought about it like that, but I guess that's kind of true.
Yeah. You know, like no one like paints a picture of porridge, do they?
What's wrong with porridge?
They paint fruit bowls and stuff. Porridge is great. I love porridge, but like you don't paint a picture of it.
Pnevma is you. I'm sorry, Michelle is livid, not Agatha. Michelle. I drew that very handsome man.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't talk to
Ding bong.
Pluto about that
I'm joking.
because
I'm absolutely joking. Because he was all like, remember the first time we met him and he was all like doing nothing. I was like, oh, you're so boring. And then like it's just sort of like a run on.
you call him boring.
Yeah, he actually really didn't like it. Like it's just.
Well, I think you're quite lucky he didn't. I tell you what.
He did what?
Last year, when we were doing our thing that we did it was just me and him because our other classmates were like, Bing Bong's a twat. So it was just me and him
That's
went
so
to go.
rough. Why would you
I know
say that?
I know their people are not that great. So it was just me and him that went to do the Golden Gryphen stuff because there was a bunch of like, oh, you don't want to listen to all of this. You've got your dinner to go to, don't you,
Maybe,
buddy?
no, but like another time, yeah? Like when you get
Yeah.
back, we can talk.
You go to dinner, we'll talk
Because
another time.
actually, your experience in the Golden Gryphen Cup could actually be really useful, like anecdotal, like not that it will like directly relate to what we're going to do, but just sort of like a vibe situation. It would be good to know the sort of like level that we're like potentially looking up against. So that would actually be really useful. You know, I think
Yeah.
Bing Bong, you're a very good mentor.
Oh my God, are you? That's so good to hear. Day 5. I'm a good mentor.
Yeah, great
Nobody
job.
else did but you and me. All right. Well, have a good evening.
Blows a literal trumpet for herself.
Okay. Is everybody going? Who's going? Pnevma.
Agatha and Pnevma?
Yeah, like if we're invited,
Yeah,
we'll
of course
go.
you are.
I'll wear one of Mel's dresses because I feel like they're a little bit nicer.
Yeah. I mean, these dresses. You're gonna have to put your shirt underneath them
Yeah.
because hers are all like those proper like low cut corsets with just like the little straps that are here kind of thing. So you've been summoned to a restaurant called the Light Night.
Fair
Night
warn,
with an
my dad's a
N,
little
not-
bullshit. He never means anything by it, and my mum's a bit away with it. You know, if you just go along with it, it'll be a good night, guaranteed. If you try and get them to like meet you on your level, it's not going to happen. So you just got to go with, follow their vibe. They ain't following anyone else's vibe. I promise you that.
I respect it.
I think we've got some practice in. We're good.
As soon as you walk into this restaurant, you realize it is extremely fancy. Like gold railings, mirrors everywhere, red velvet, and you see your parents at a table that has a kind of rounded sofa around it and a couple of chairs.
Naturally, got a booth.
Got a booth. My son.
You're right, Dad. You're right, Mum. And just sort of like I'm in my best sandals, and
he greets you.
Newly made mango leather.
Yeah, big hugs.
Your mum kind of grasps your face with her hands and kisses each cheek. I hope you like it. They have a great vegan menu.
Oh, thanks so much. Like, it's maybe not as like fancy as some of the places we've been to, but I just like going to dinner with you guys. Like,
I just think we've round what I've discovered about this city is I think this is probably one of the nicer ones, and what I'm telling you now, because we've had a couple of dinners here last couple of days, what these guys can do with a pair of nuts. They've got great vegan options here. Great vegan options. If
the Birchwaters are in town, any place is 5 stars.
That's quite right. That's quite right. We were only going to stay overnight before we went on our holidays, but I got to tell you, everybody come sit down. Some people in this town, they needed to find out the hard way about what the Birchwaters were all about.
You telling me? I headbutted a guy. This is Pnevma, and this is Agatha, and this is Hiraeth.
Hello, everybody. Let's take a seat. Let's get the wine right out. Nice to meet you all. Now we got right off the bat. That reminds me, your mother and I was having dinner with a city pro counsel. Lovely man. His name's Isorio, I think, and his lovely wife named Izzy, and some detectives come round.
Yeah.
Some detectives come round, and they talk to him. And they said that there's been some evil people was taken down by some students. Lo and behold, one of them was my handsome son.
Well, it weren't just me by myself. I would love to take all the credit, but it weren't just me by myself. It weren't just me by myself. I had some help. But basically, like, some old people and one not so old bloke had like kidnapped a woman, and then Agatha found out about it. This is Agatha, remember? And she was like trying to sneak in and find her, and then she got sucked into a mirror dimension or something. Never got sucked into a mirror dimension. Then the old people started blasting Hiraeth, and then Hiraeth got arrested, and then we broke in, and then our Hiraeth managed to find the mirror and smash it, and then the younger bloke was like, "I'm gonna kill you," pulled out a wand, and I dived down the stairs, headbutted him. He then did fall over a banister over 3 flights of stairs and did die, but like he seemed to get up fine, so he got over it, and the other 2 old people were killed by a bloke named Pluto.
Right.
That's pretty much the short and tall of it, Dad.
That's a good story. You tell it well. I told that Isorio guy that if they give out medals in this city, my son should be at the front of the line for what he did, for sure.
I would agree.
I'm assuming all of you, but he says he doesn't really give out medals for that kind of thing, which I don't. I told him he probably wanted to look into that.
You always say the world could do with more medals. So
that's what I reckon too.
Makes people feel good, doesn't it? Get a medal.
Or a gold star.
Plates get brought out. It's essentially an 8-course meal that gets taken out. You've got wines that go with each thing. It's you get your choice of vegan or not vegan.
Viv is just like smelling the plates as they come through and saying it.
And there is beautiful music playing, and essentially a lovely evening is had by all. At one point, Viv, who is wearing this incredible gown with like chiffon like stole and very, very kind of floaty. Her hair is not up in like a turban thing anymore. It's like it's held up in place with this pin.
Her clothes are always so lightweight that if she just like disrobes, they take a time to fall to the ground.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like hovering like in the air.
She turns to you, Agatha. You're like sat to her right, and she sort of looks to you for a moment, really takes you in. At first, I think you're probably not quite sure because she's not talking to you. So you sort of look forward for a minute. And she sort of starts just leaning in closer and closer to like look at you. And then she pulls like the comb from her hair and it just like falls down around her like a fucking Timotei ad. And she pops it in your hair and goes, "That's yours now."
I'm sorry, okay.
Every time
Agatha's just like staying still, like doesn't want to spook this woman, so she just lets it happen, and it's just like, okay.
Every time anyone has like a conversation or interact with Sunny's parents, Sunny is like looking at them like.
Yeah.
There's been like definitely one point in the evening where she was sort of uncomfortable in her seat and just pulled out a gold bar that she had somehow been sitting on and just hands it to William, and he like has to usher it away. She's got all sorts of like strange things deposited around that like there's no normal moment with Viv.
Viv just lives in a different world.
I mean,
She does.
That's very
She takes a moment with Pnevma, and Pnevma is like ready for this challenge. Like she sees this incredible woman and is like, I'm gonna look back into her. I don't know if anyone's seen the clips. There was when the Immortals were made that someone did a great like, we got to do staring contest between all the actors. Everyone was so frightened of Angelina Jolie, no one could look her in the eye, and it's the same thing. But like Pnevma's like, I'm gonna fucking try. And there's a moment where they're like looking at each other and getting closer, and then Pnevma just suddenly looks like she's going to well up and just moves very swiftly and sits on her lap and like curls up, and Viv puts her arms around her and cradles her and like strokes her, and they just sit there for like 5 minutes, and then Pnevma goes away, and Viv absolutely has a look on her face like she immediately can't remember that thing happened. And she then, like, finally, as the evening moves on, people have imbibed more wine. She stands and she goes, "I want to dance with the Fey Prince." And she looks to Hiraeth and offers out her hand to him.
I look at Sunny and Sunny's dad and just kind of.
My dad always says there's no point having a nice garden if you're not going to have a short fence. You can dance.
And I'm gonna, and I sort of stand up, bow slightly, and dance with Viv.
Let's have a performance roll. I'll say this though: you get advantage because the moment you stand close to her and she puts her arms around you, she is holding you the way that the Fae dance. So you know from the very get-go she's going to do a Fae courtly dance that is not you haven't done much dancing here, but you know the steps to this, so you get advantage on this.
I want to be really honest because I do have disadvantage. Does that cancel out and I get a straight roll?
It does.
Yeah. Ooh, 15.
Yeah.
Plus 4. 19. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm really sorry.
This, as you begin to dance, and you're holding her quite close and sweeping around the tables, in and around the tables. I mean, this is not a restaurant where there is a dance floor. So you are dancing around tables and like waiters are like desperately trying to get out of your way.
She can't dance.
And it feels like the live musicians are like aware of what's happening and sort of play something that sort of matches a little bit. And is quite an intense experience for you. It feels in a moment like being, it doesn't, because you know where you are and you know what this feels like, but you get these memories of balls at home and Nikki, not those balls. The kind
Just
of more,
you've not got any anymore.
the organized festivities that often happen, but instead of having those moments of heartache, missing it, you're just so happy that someone's giving it to you here, and you feel very full and happy in this moment. And as the song comes to an end, you kind of spin her out, and she floats away from you and goes back to the table, and she kneels in front of I've immediately forgotten your dad's name. Bortoy. No, Bort. Kneels in front of Bort, who has turned himself around on his chair to watch the dancing. His like feet don't quite touch the ground because they're like human-sized chairs, and she just kneels in front of him and puts her hands on his knees and just goes, "I missed you for a second there, my love." And he turns around and goes, "That's my signal. I got to go pleasure my wife. Have a lovely evening.
Bye,
Lovely to
Dad.
see you,
Bye,
my
Mum.
son. See you at holidays. Yeah, let's
I'll
keep
see
in
you-
touch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
I loved meeting your friends. They're a good lot."
They are. Also, I'm gonna send you a letter about like there's like a be a mountain racing competition. I didn't know if it would be good
my.
for the. But no, you've got something you need to be doing. That's
Of course
for
I have,
business
yeah.
for another time. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me all about it. If you want to listen, if you think it, we should have talked more business. I'll tell you that now, because I was thinking, I had all these thoughts like, do you want to set up a stable whereby that might like do the school but stables out of business, because we could quite easily set that up. Do you want to set up a casino here? And Viv just gives him a gentle tug. No, I'm off. Right, let's go.
She gives him a what?
Night.
Or just I
Thanks
think
for dinner, Mr. and Mrs. Birchwater.
I suppose we should be like getting off. William,
Yes.
hey, you're right.
Yes, I'm. It's been a lovely time here, Mr. Birchwater. This city is it's a fine city. It's not Collar, but it is a fine city.
That it is not. I just wanted to say, like, I know it's only been like 4 or 5 days, but I've missed you. You know, I really appreciate everything you do for me. You know, like, it's just wonderful. You know, so like, I hope like, you know, you enjoy yourself when you going off on holiday. And also, like, I think maybe part of our schooling a bit later in the year might be about we might have to come back through Quellar, so you know it might not even be the whole year before we see you.
That would be wonderful. I can tell that you're already doing so well here.
Do you know what? You know,
Best
like,
out of all of us.
Yeah.
I just, you know, they say Birchwaters are lucky, and I just, it's got to be true, innit?
I cannot stress enough. That is the absolute truth. My experience of working for this family.
It's just like, oh, can you give my best to Violet when you get back? Yeah.
I will do. I do have to run because I tend to have to be ahead of them.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. So,
make
like,
sure
I
the
just
doors
wanted-
are open.
I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Bye, William.
Where?
No,
And
'cause he has to be ahead because my dad's only short and he does pick up my mom, and like if someone doesn't open the doors, she's gonna hit her head.
Oh god.
Okay. I think you guys meander back, full of food and booze. Yes.
Just, I think as we're meandering, I think like with the touch of the Fae sort of still like in my mind. At one point, I think I just kind of tap Agatha on the shoulder, and just kind of if she turns around at all, just kind of like
I punch him and I run. It's happening.
just indicate like to slow down just a little bit. Just
I just catch eyes with Pnevma. It's just kind of like a if I'm not back in like 2 minutes, I'm dead. But yeah, I'll be like.
Sunny will
She
just,
like she just puts her hand to her like bow and quiver.
Entirely fair.
Sunny will just to distract for this. Sunny will just be like, no, I've been there. You know, my mum, she's like an incredible hugger. It's sort of like a gravity, isn't it? And just sort of like.
She was looking at me, and then I could smell my mom out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Is she magical, your mum?
Just so magic. Also, she's just like, I don't know, like it's just great vibes. I can't wait. If we end up going to Quillar, you can like see my family home, and it's just sort of like that always. It's, you know, I've not been joking when I've been saying I'm very lucky and very privileged, because like, you know, impeccable vibes, you know, 9 to 5, like it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to like, with the tension, I just want to like get Pnevma talking about something and just sort of like not go away so like Hiraeth can do a murder, but like just distract Pnevma enough that we can
Absolutely enabling violence.
Sunny's just like, I've got you. I think like Hiraeth just slows down slightly, so that they're just a little bit away, like close enough. And I think Hiraeth's kind of thinking is close enough for them to get involved if need be. You know, that if for them to feel comfortable about it, and for you to feel comfortable about it too. And I think he just sort of walks sort of side by side with you in the quiet for a second, and just says, Agatha, I just I'm very aware that I have put you through a lot of emotions over the last day, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
Please don't say you're sorry. Please don't be sorry. You don't have anything to be sorry about. Like, I'm sorry that we're like stuck in this situation together. I'm sorry that I did it. I'm sorry that you found out like that. I'm sorry that we now have to figure this out. But like, please don't apologize to me. Like, you had every right to be angry, and the things you said were true.
But they weren't good. They weren't kind. They weren't considerate or caring to what you've been through. Look, I care deeply for you, and I feel as though the mother was truly laughing, putting us together. I don't want to have this bad blood. I don't want us to go through this the way that we are, because it wasn't your fault. And I want you to really hear me when I say that it was not your fault. No matter what you think.
I appreciate that, and I do hear you. but I made a mistake, and I don't want there to be bad blood between us either. I want us to be able to move forward from this, but I don't want to just absolve myself from it. But are you saying it's not my fault because you don't blame me, or are you saying it's not my fault because you understand it was an accident? Because if you're looking for someone to blame and you just don't want to blame me because for whatever reason you can't. It's not his fault. It wasn't his fault.
I'm gonna give you something.
Okay.
And I want you to take it. You have to take it. Okay? Agatha?
Okay. I'll take it.
You have to promise.
No, I want to know what it is. Look, I don't want to go jumping blindly into things anymore. I want to know what I'm doing before I do them. I can't make that promise. But if you show me, like, what is it you want me to take?
I kind of like Hiraeth just sort of holds your gaze for a second. And as he holds your gaze, he just takes a small pouch from the inside lining of his sort of evening wear. And just kind of puts this small package out in front of you. And if you sort of hold out a hand, he just kind of cups your hand from underneath and just puts it on your palm. And it's just a small kind of velvet pouch with what feels like something hard inside. And Hiraeth says, I want you to have a chance. Here. I want to give you a chance.
I look in the pouch, or tip it out, whatever it is.
And in the pouch is a large cut diamond.
What's this?
Chance at another life. I want you to take it, please. From me to you. It's yours.
Why?
Because you deserve it, Agatha. You deserve a chance. We all know it. Feels like you're the only one who doesn't.
Thanks. Thank you. Can I give you a hug?
Fuck yes.
Okay.
And I'll give you a big old hug.
And I think on that note, we'll call it a night. I keep saying to myself, we're going to definitely finish before 10 o'clock, and every fucking time I just wade through it. Thank you so much, guys. That was lovely. And for your information, so that you can kind of get yourself prepped up, the beginning of next session will be what you do in the next few days.
Cool.
Sick.
So, just have kind of lined up what your characters would do within the next.
Already got that. We've already got notes of what my Tony's downtime stuff will be.
Beautiful. Guys, wonderful. Nikki.
Yeah!
Take it away.
So first off, thank you all for joining us for the session. That was great. That was really, really wonderful. We have a Charity Week announcement. And that Charity Week announcement is we are going to be launching our first ever piece of merch. We are launching a t-shirt. All of the profits will go to charity. The t-shirt is a black t-shirt with the logo redrawn by me, Tom, and Lydia, put next to Michelle's actual incredible logo. I'll drop the link in the Discord and I'll put it up in socials. I'll drop the link in the Discord tonight. I'll put it's going up on socials tomorrow. But I wanted to kind of do a little bit of verbal diarrhea just to explain how it's going to work. We're using a platform called Everpress, and the way that works is you run a campaign for an amount of days, everyone puts their order in, at the end of that the orders get printed and then shipped out from Everpress. The campaign will end on the last day of Charity Stream, so on that Sunday, so on the last Sunday of July. So you've got basically a whole month, 30 days to get your order in if you want one. If we get over 64, they go from being printed to being screen printed, which is an improvement in quality.
64, is it not?
It's different for different.
Okay.
We've used a slightly premium material on the shirt,
yeah.
like a slightly heavier shirt. The t-shirts are £20 British, and £4.75 from each shirt will go to Calm. That is all of the profits. That is all of the money that Wicked Game get from each shirt.
Yeah, we would never
that
make
is
money.
all going directly to Calm.
Yeah.
So it's £4.75. The rest is, I think the t-shirts themselves cost £6.70, and the rest is like printing and packaging and stuff. Yeah. And Everpress is like platform fees. So yeah, all of the profits we get, which is just shy of £5, will go to Calm, and it will be added to the thing. So basically, what will be fun is on that Sunday when we do the little like calm down, I will be able to like pull the amount and go, we're going to add that to the total.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the profits are going to Calm. It's, I'm very excited about it. We've been talking about doing merch, and it felt greedy to do something for ourselves off the like we've been talking about stuff for ages and ages and ages, and doing something for the charity felt right, especially as another way to like elevate Charity Week. So I'll put the link in the Discord tonight, and I will be going up on socials tomorrow. We will be shouting about it consistently up until Charity Week, and a lot over Charity Week, because it's money for charity, and the more orders we get, it gets us closer to the screen printing, which just ups the quality of everyone's shirts, which we would all love that.
Yeah.
And you get a thing.
You get a thing. You get a tangible thing.
A Wicked Game shirt.
A Wicked Game shirt.
A wicked thing.
A Wicked Game shirt. Yeah. And I'm maybe a bit biased, but I think it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's a bit of fun.
Really.
I'll pop that in Discord. In about 15 minutes.
Excited.
Socials at Wicked Game RPG. You know the deal. Tomorrow,
Dragon Age.
Dragonage.
And then
descent. We are going down into the deep roads.
That's what I call my
And we started off real well, didn't we? We immediately knew that we'd gone in over our heads. So
Oh yeah, it took us about 30 minutes to defeat one ogre. So
just the
that's gonna
very
be
first
fun.
thing. We've got a lot of stuff in our pockets. We are not prepared.
We're not prepared, but we'll probably end up just decompressing about D&D because I feel like that's what ends up.
We always do.
And we need it.
Yeah.
It's the unofficial after show.
Every week I need it.
Is it, Chris, is it this Sunday or next Sunday that Some Other Heroes is back? Please confirm the thing.
I'm pretty sure it's this Sunday.
I'm pretty sure, but I want to just double check. So check out Some Other Heroes on Twitch. Follow them if you're not. Dice and Slice. Tom is now going to be a permanent, or I mean, at least for this campaign, who knows? Unless he might die next session.
He might, yeah, he might.
But Tom is now a cast member of Dice and Slice. So, you know, slut. Yeah, it's we've really enjoyed this. I hope you guys have been very welcoming. Actually, I don't need to ask that you have. You guys have been really wonderful. We're glad that you've welcomed Some of the heroes and Dice and Slice into this little triumvirate of Norwich TTRPGs. And
we love them, and we're glad that you do too.
Exactly that. And on that, we're gonna go. 'Cause it's very, very warm.
It's very warm, and I'm ready to cry again. Bye,
Bye, guys.
everyone.
Yeah, bye.